Good morning, everyone. Can you guys hear me? Can every
Cannot, but can hear.
you can hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. A very good morning to everyone. So for today, we have a Together We Teach sharing practices for diverse learners by Teaching and Learning Committee. Right. So there will be 4 speakers for today, which is Dr. Alicia, Miss Kadi, Dr. Tang, and Miss Sumiko from Penang. All right. So without further ado, I will pass this session for this morning to Dr. Alicia first for the opening. Right? Enjoy the workshop, everyone. And thank you for participating as well.
Hello, everyone, and good morning. And thank you very much to Ali for the very joyous introduction. So I'm Alicia here. So today, just let me share my screen before I continue. All right. Can you see my screen? Yes.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much. All right, so today our topic is on Together We Teach and sharing practices for diverse learners by the Teaching and Learning Committee. So before we begin today's session, I will like every one of you here to share a personal experience with language barrier. So do indicate in your response regarding your personal experience as a learner, a traveler, or an educator on your personal experience with this language barrier. All right, so you can scan this QR code and share your experience with us on language barrier, like maybe you travel to a country that people do not understand you, or maybe you as a lecturer that you experience that students having this language proficiency issue. Yeah, do let us know. All right. I will share my later on my personal experience with this language barrier later after I see your responses. So we have a first response over here that talk about, I believe this is as an educator, for like in teaching foreign students most of the time and find that sometimes I'm like teaching kindergarten kids. Okay. So another one over here is also as an educator that also encounter like some students that are not so good in English, and while learning that tends to translate the terms to Mandarin. However, they're still able to excel in the subject due to their good effort. Okay, sounds positive. Any one of you here, like maybe you have traveled to a country that do not speak like English? Yeah, all right. So over here we have like different roles. So as a learner, he or she face difficult to learn new languages like Japanese or some advanced English. Okay, I'm not sure what's your definition of advanced English. And traveler using body language. Okay, I will talk a little bit on this later on. And also as an educator, so far so good, mostly local from Western. Okay, glad to hear that. Another one is on, I believe it's as a traveler. So solo travel totally can't understand the language and they also can't understand English and finally use Google Translate. Okay. Oops, sorry. Just have to go back. Yeah. And then another one would be also as a educator that students are unable to understand the lecture even I talk slowly and some students use translated app for translation. Okay. And I believe this is also as an educator trying to teach students technical subjects where English is not their common language. And he or she suggests that using books in their own language so the technical part is covered. So challenge is when they have to sit for exams where translators are not allowed. Okay. All right, so over here, okay, so 3 parts, all right. So he or she as an educator have issue with the accent. Yeah, when students speak English, but trying best to comprehend them by asking them to repeat and speak slowly. And as a traveler, he or she has been going to local markets where a majority of the locals couldn't speak the common language, such as English, and need to use body language and other ways of communication to communicate. And as a learner, all right, he or she also oops. Okay, to learn a new language. Okay, and yeah, let's see. Teaching students from Germany, definitely a different experience. Wow, we need to slow down our pace. So, right, so I believe most of us over here did have experience on this language barrier. So I would also like to share mine. So I actually did my PhD in Poland. So that was like 10 years ago. So in that country, they only speak their own language, which is Polish. And I still remember that when I first touched down in that country, I was totally like surprised. Initially, I thought like English is an international language that everyone should speak English, but in fact, it's not, especially in like European countries. So I still remember that I still need like some help from my lab mates to help me to get like food and even like groceries. And that at that point of time, I realized that yeah, body language or the sign language is actually the international language that I just point whatever that I need. So definitely, language plays a very important role. Yeah. So for today's session, and yeah, before that, thank you everyone for sharing your experience on this language barrier. Oops. Oops, sorry. Yeah. So for today's session, okay, yeah. So we will talk about like how, all right. I believe not just us, the TNL committee, but all the participants here today are also having like your expertise in like teaching students with this language proficiency or maybe like having like problem in like learning or maybe have like different learning styles. So I will talk a little bit on that. And after that, we will have like Miss Kaudi to share with you some of the active teaching strategies that you can use in your class. And back to me again on some of the methods, all right, especially on assessment and feedback for the students. And lastly, we would have like Dr. Tang and Miss Sumika to share with us some of the technology or some other tools that can help with this group of students. All right, so again, I would like to introduce the speakers for today's session. That will be Miss Kaudi, Dr. Tang, Miss Sumiko, and me, myself. Thank you very much for the TNL committee willingly to share their practices. And of course, all the participants today, I believe you are an expert in your teaching as well. So if you have any teaching practices while we were talking about like some of the topics, feel free to share in the chat so that we all can learn together. That is why today's the workshop title is Together We Teach. So as we can share the ideas around, I believe we can help our students in a better way. So yeah, so Malaysia, all right, is generally a rising destination for international students right now. So it is a favored Asian study abroad destination because we have like around eight, all right, highly ranked universities in the top 500 QS per university ranking. So that including private as well as public universities. And we also have like relatively low cost of living, of course, compared to other top destinations like Canada, UK, and US. And we also have like affordable tuition fees with an average undergrad degree that like costs about like 6,000 US dollars. And also it gives us a very good opportunity to have these international students because the universities in the West, they are coping with regulatory changes where they put a cap, all right, on the enrollment of international students. Yeah. So all these criteria, all right, have given opportunities for us to have to be the rising destination, all right, for the international students. And of course, from the source of EMGS, all right, that the largest source of international students that come to apply to Malaysian universities are like China. If you can see the color coding here, all right, so green is China, followed by Bangladesh, all right, that is red in color. Yes, you can see from 2019 to 2023, the number is increasing. And also like Indonesia, Nigeria, Yemen, Pakistan, and so on and so on. So gradually you may see, all right, students, international students like from China, Bangladesh, Indonesia appear in your classes is because of this trend right now that Malaysia is a rising destination, all right, for all the international students. And also in the news, talk about like Chinese immigration to Malaysia doubles on student and investment search, also because on the Malaysia's government policy on the second home visa. So that is one of the reasons why like Chinese, yeah, is the main contributor to this rising that contribute the biggest amount in the international students. So yeah. All right. So what are the most significant challenges for these international students when they are studying abroad? So first of all is the academic stress. So certainly the teaching methods, the grading system would be very different as compared to their home country and over here in Malaysia. And apart from that, they have to like how to say, they have to balance, all right, or cope with the new grading system, new teaching methods, as well as like coping the new environment. So it could be one of the academic stress that they are facing. And next would be, of course, the cultural difference. Yeah. So over in the home country, and of course over here, definitely that's different culture and as well as communication. And lastly, would be on the language challenges. And surprisingly, when I was like Googling and also reading some of the articles like around universities about like language proficiency, even like UK, yeah, I have like read like just recently this news came out like I think end of last year that UK universities are also facing similar issues like us over here in Malaysia that foreign students, all right, are found to have poor English, okay? And this also does not apply only in UK because I've also read some like other research articles that talk about like example would be in Sweden. So over in Sweden, as I mentioned, like in European countries, mostly their first language would be their national language. So like in Sweden would be like Swedish. So students who actually study abroad, they need to learn like Swedish and also English at the same time. So yeah, I think it's even like more challenging for the student to actually have to learn two languages. So what are the challenges that faced by the students with limited language skills? So first of all, I think this does not only apply to international students, but also our local students as well, because they may have not like having insufficient exposure and practice before moving to a very like mostly speaking English speaking environment. And of course, also the accent that what have some of you have mentioned just now. It's not only our own accent, all right, I mean the students' accent, all right, as a communication barrier, but also the understanding of other people's accent. For example, like the vocabulary that we use, I will just use an example like Gospan, okay? So I believe that foreigners will not understand what is Gospan because it's a very Malaysian vocabulary that derived from go Aston, all right? That means like using your vehicle like backwards. And also the speech rate. I think some of you also have mentioned about like to teach the student you speak a bit slower, all right? Because students with this limited language skills that will not be able to catch you because they need to understand the words and also to catch what you are talking. So yeah, so this might be some of the challenges. And also some students that might have some psychological factors. It's not that they couldn't speak, but they're afraid that they may make mistake. That's why they may have like low confidence or maybe like lack of motivation, yeah. And also peer influence for those, this speaking on my own experience that when I was studying abroad, I tend to like want to find my own clan, right, Malaysians, because I feel like much more at home. So yes, to be honest, although I have lived in Poland for like about 7 to 8 years, yeah, for my PhD. But yeah, unfortunately, yes, I will I will like confess that I really didn't put in the effort to learn Polish, although I can understand and speak like very limited Polish. But yeah, because of the peer influence that I always stay with my Malaysian friends that I really couldn't like speak Polish. Yeah. So next will be on code missing and code switching. So this code does not mean like computing, coding or programming, yeah, but it's about the language. So especially in our country, yeah, in a multilingual country, that at times we will just mix our languages, yeah. For example, like if you go to a mama, you will just say like ane tapa roti canai satu, yeah. So it's a mixture of like Indian and Chinese and yeah, Malay, yeah. And also like code switching, like some of us, yeah, sometimes we can speak in English and after that we just switch to a Malay language. So sometimes, yeah, the way we speak also may confuse like students. All right. Okay, so these are the challenges that faced by students with limited language skills. And what is the impact, all right, on an academic performance and participation and confidence, especially for those students with language proficiency issue? And of course, and surprisingly is not something like new, yeah. While I was searching, yeah, on PubMed and also like research articles on this, and surprisingly, there's quite a number of research that have been done to check on this language proficiency on academic performance, and of course, it really does impact their understanding on the content as well as their participation and confidence in the class. So what are the common myths and biases about students with language difficulties? So first of all, is about language proficiency equals intelligence. So a person who can speak well doesn't mean that he's smart, yeah? So this is one of the common myths. And students with language barriers are not interested in participating in any of the class activities. Might be true in some cases, but as I mentioned just now, that some students their lack of confidence, even though they are very anticipated, but they feel like they're afraid of making mistake. That's why they do not feel like interested in, that seems like they are not interested in participating. And next common myth would be accent or pronunciation issues reflect poor language skills. At times, our pronunciation or accent may not seem like perfect, but it doesn't mean that we don't understand English or other languages, yeah? Assuming all students from a particular background have the same language proficiency, all right? So some may think, all right, that students like from certain country that they can't speak very well because they don't speak English all the time, yeah. But in fact, some of the students that could speak very well. Oversimplifying course material for students with language difficulties, this is definitely, of course, a no-no, but I believe all of the academicians over here, we don't do that, yeah, because we might need to maintain our academic quality. And sometimes we do think about that native speakers are always the best models for language learning. That like, if you want to learn English, it's good to learn from a native speaker. So according to some of the articles that mentioned that perhaps learning, all right, from a native speaker may not be a best idea because they may not know what are the challenges or difficulty that will be faced by a learner who want to learn a new language. And the last one will be on assuming all students from a particular background. Oh, this is the same. Yeah, sorry. Okay, yeah. So I have mentioned all the myths and biases, and I hope that it will actually open your mind a little bit on the students with language difficulties. Yeah. So next, I would like to invite Miss Kaudip to share with you on the active learning strategies that we can use to help with this group of students. I mean, regardless of having language proficiency or maybe like a different learning style. So today, all right, as I mentioned just now, if you have some of the practices that you are using in your classroom, feel free to share it in the chat room, the chat box, so that later on, yeah, we can share the ideas around. Thank you. So over to you, Miss Kaudip.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yes, very clear.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you. So let me just share my screen. Okay, you can see my screen, right?
Yes, very clear.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hi, good morning, everyone. Hello. Hi, Azwa. Hi. How are you all doing? Very quiet, everyone, very quiet. Okay, so anyways, good morning. Right, anyways, let's start with active teaching strategies for today. All right, now over here, I would like to, for this part, I would like to just share a bit from what I have actually done, or probably some of the strategies that we can use in our teaching. All right, so screen is not moving, just a minute. Okay, so basically, I'm going to concentrate on 3 Ws of active teaching strategies here. All right, now definitely previously when we meet up with some of our fellow colleagues, our teaching and learning team, so we had a meet up with fellow colleagues. So again and again, they mentioned the same thing. They say that we are facing these issues, flooding with our university flooding with a lot of international students, mainly from China, right? But as you can see over here, it's that not only our university, you see, some other universities also, like other be it public university also, they are also flooded with international students. So whether we like it or not, we have to face it. But what we can do moving forward is that we have to look for some alternatives, okay, on how we can actually overcome this language barrier issues. So I saw some of y'all just now y'all feedback when Anisha did the ice breaking session, and some of y'all say that y'all feel like as if y'all are talking to kindergarten kids. All right, so those are the limitations that we know that currently that we are facing. Okay, and definitely the very first thing that we should know, and we should always tell ourselves that um, this is normal, or this is only going to be a temporary challenges, right? So having that in mind, probably we can do something about it, right? So yep. Now let's tackle the first W over here. Now the first W is why active learning is important. Okay, so I think I don't really have to go into the introduction of the active learning. I'm sure that all of y'all, my fellow colleagues over here, all right, are doing a very good job. In fact, during our meeting also, a lot of our fellow colleagues, they did share their active teaching strategies, which I believe they have done from their part. Okay, but moving forward, we have to definitely we have to have the right mindset. Okay, to tell our things that this is probably going to be a temporary challenge. All right, so we have to live with this, but even though we have to live with it, we still can find some alternatives to support students with language barriers. Okay, all right. So the first thing over here, All right. Again, as what I say, why active learning is important. Active learning, that means you're using your teaching strategies, right? Now, here, the teaching strategies that, like in a traditional manner, last time we used to say, active learning is all about teachers or lecturers. They use teaching strategies to engage the students, in the course materials and all that. Now, things are very different. Okay. Now, in today's era, right? Okay, get the students engaged. That is like, for me, it is very traditional way. Really, like if you say that, I use probably I form a group of students, right? I give them a pair work and all that. So that is like so traditional way of active learning strategy to me, lah, huh? Yeah. Okay, but because things are very different now. Now we are dealing with a different issue, which is we have, yes, a big number of foreign students in our classes, all right, and now we are facing a new issue, which is on language barriers. Okay, now why active learning is important? Now, basically focusing on the language barrier, right? It will boost the knowledge retention. Okay, now talking about in a class of, let's say, 100 or 200 students, let me just share something with you. Yeah, back then in year 2009, Alicia, I can't really remember, our previous university, 2009 or 2010, around during that era. I'm not sure if you have heard this, that back then, UCSI University, yes, my previous working place, okay, we flooded with UCSI University also, we were also flooded with a lot of foreign students. Okay. So I am teaching mathematics subjects. All right. So back then, I'm a mathematics lecturer. All right. So I am still, right? So back then, I was teaching mathematics also. Okay. Now, can you imagine that? All right. Definitely, we cannot stop the student coming in, right? And we used to have a lot of international students. Okay, students from Middle Eastern back then. All right, Middle Eastern countries and then African countries. Okay, so we were like, if you heard in the news back then, really UCSI was flooded lah, even at Sagi University and all that. So I used to have about 350 students in my class. Okay, so I used to have my lecture in lecture theatre. All right, so 350 students. Now, how I overcome this challenge? Okay, you say that probably you may say that African student or Middle Eastern students, they are okay. Maybe they can understand English and all that. You see, not so. All right. So mathematics, yes, mathematics is the nature is very different. Why? Because you have to deal with numbers only, right? Isn't it? You have to deal with numbers, and then after that, that's about it. But not really. You see, the thing is that they have to understand what the question wants. All right. So that was one of my biggest challenge teaching that group 350 students in class, and I not only have that one particular session with the students. I have multiple subjects, in the foundation level, all right, with different type of students. Okay, and that what happened. So how I overcome this challenge is that I learned how to accept it. For me lah, personally lah, right? I feel that there is no use for me to again and again, ranting again, commenting again and again, ranting about the same issue, when I cannot look for the solution. So I started to look for the solution. Now, one way is that I always use the same term. Okay, let's say the particular term, whatever question it is, right? The word related to particular part or particular topic, I use the same thing. I retain the same thing in the final exam questions. Okay, because I don't want to give them a shock. I use a different word in my lecture slides. I use a different word in my tutorial questions, and I use something else in my final examination. So I started telling them, and I started getting them to use these words more often. When the moment that I use these words in repetition, right? So I see that they will able to understand the question better. All right. So meaning to say, let's say the question asks them to, oh, I can't remember of any. All right. So if let's say the question asks them for example, a simple example, multiplication. Probably the word multiplication is very complex for them. All right. And then in final examination, you ask in a different way. All right. So, they might be lost, right? So this is one of the approach that I use. Now, active strategy, one of the active, why is it very important? It is to boost knowledge retention, right? Student here, it is very, very important for them to learn the material in, the long-term knowledge is there, right? You want to encourage the long-term knowledge retention, because student will actually they will develop a deeper understanding of the course material, okay, by engaging in an activity rather than simply memorizing the material. So you do not want them to happen, but in a traditional way, that is what it is lah. Sometimes we just read the materials and then memorize, and then that's what we want without the final examination. So this is we need to have in mind that you want the knowledge to stay with them forever, isn't it? Second thing is that why active learning is important, right? Why this hands-on? Because you want the students to grasp the concept, all right? Via this hands-on or practical, hands-on or practical activities. Why? It is to create assessment opportunity. Create the assessment opportunity, meaning to say, let's say if you have this group discussion, right? Group discussion, when you're having, when you have this group discussion, you need to set in mind, now, why am I opt for group discussion, right? Why are you giving this group discussion activity to the student? This is to help the students, because you want to help the students to correct their misconception. There and there, you want to correct it, right? Okay, and then you want to give a feedback to the students, right? Okay, the third one is on fostering skill development. Of course, when we have this active learning, we want to get the students to think, all right, to do some kind of a critical thinking, higher order thinking skills, and at a higher level, maybe you want to emphasize on metacognition skills, right? So, number 4 is on to increase the motivation. Now, to increase the motivation, because you want to tell the student via this active learning, when they take charge of this active learning, when they take charge of their own learning, you want to increase their motivation. That means that they also can play an active role, right? Active role in their teaching. In their learning. All right. So rather than just simply sit there and become a passive learner and do nothing and just digest whatever we have to say in the class and write down, take note and all that. Okay. All right. Finally is to promote collaboration. Yes, you want them to start collaborating with their peers. Okay. Often you see that some students in our class, they tend to be a passive learner. Okay, no doubt. All right. Some students, they're very active. Okay, they manage to find new group mates, or manage to get along with other other students in the class, or they participate more, right? So some students, they tend to be very shy. Okay, they are not very sociable, right? So they will just sit down quietly. I do have some students in my class. Okay, sometimes they're very quiet, very shy, so when you put them in a group discussion, or do be it any group activity or any events together, right, you will see that uh, this they will start collaborating with their peers. All right. So now, number 2, I'm going to address on the second W, which is on what are the effective strategies for support diverse learners. Okay. Again, diverse learners. Now, diverse learners over here, all right, what it means by diverse learners. Learners with different uh, gender, abilities, ethnicity, right? Different background, different academic history. Now, we have to really bear in mind, right, that the learners in our class, right, they have different learning styles. Okay, different students, they learn differently, isn't it? All right, they take in differently, and they take in and then they process information differently. All right, so each students, they are very unique in their own way, right? Maybe their academic history different. I do have some students whereby they claim that, oh teacher, I have not seen this topic before, whereby for me, okay, once the student are in degree level, at least they have seen that, or at least they have done that topic earlier in the fundamental level. But not really. You have to understand. You have to do a bit of background check, okay, and you have to know about their academic history, because some students can be from different countries, whereby they are being accepted to university depends on whatever qualification that is accepted by MQA in our country. All right, hence they are accepted in the degree into the degree. Right. So yes, do a bit of academic background check. Normally I do that lah. Normally whenever I see my especially international students up, unlike local students, we know lah. They have done this topic earlier and all that in their fundamental level and all, right? But international student, you have to do a bit, because you see different country, they have different syllabus. Okay, they might not have learned. For example, if let's say I'm teaching metrics, okay, I teach metrics, or I'm teaching any statistics topic, right? They might not have done statistics in their country at their, even be the fundamental level. They might have not, even came across histogram, right? So these are the basic thing I always keep in my mind, that I need to do a bit of background check. When you walk around in the class, when you're chit-chatting with the student, do a bit of background check, which I believe some of our colleagues also do that in the class, right? Okay, first is to identify and address language needs. Okay, how? By conducting language assessment. Now, why we need to conduct the language assessment? Okay, uh, the thing is that when you conduct the language assessment, be it whether you want to probably you want to give them a simple write up on simple any topic that you wish to. Okay, the reason being is that because you want to determine their strength and weakness. Okay, strength and weakness in a different language skill, probably such as in reading, listening, or speaking. Okay, I do that in my class. Okay, previously when I taught one of early childhood module. All right. So yes, definitely student need to reflect, whereby they have to write a short essay or short structured questions, to answer short structured questions and all that. So you see, normally what I will do is that I will just simply give them one topic, okay, and I will get them to write. Okay, some students, they're very good in talking. All right, so that is where okay, these students, they're very good in talking. I mean, very good in speech. All right, they can tell you, they can actually explain to you, they can actually tell you what is it and all that. But some students, they might not really good in speaking, but they are very good in writing. So you have different learners in the class. Okay, so that is where you will know which student, what is their strength and what is their weakness. I know you'll be telling, oh, Miss Kaldi, it's very easy for you to say that. Probably you just have like 3-4 students in the class. I have 150 or 200 students in my class. How am I going to do that? You break them into smaller group. Probably there is where you can assess them more. Or maybe you can try to start identify these students and then have a chat with them. All right. Okay. So because you see, right, it's not only that once you give them the feedback, right? Feedback is very important to students. Okay. Sometimes we tend to think that, oh, never mind lah, it's okay lah, this student don't understand me what, right? Cannot even understand basic English, right? If I say anything also cannot understand, forget about it lah, fail lah. So if we still have that mindset, right? Okay, fail, this is not my problem. This is management problem. Cannot. Okay, so we cannot have, probably it might be a temporary challenge for us, maybe. Okay, who knows, right? But what we need to do, from my point of view, is that provide them the feedback. Yes, sometimes, when you give them the feedback, maybe they have their translator with them lah, to translate what is it. But at least they are, doing something. You see, but definitely we encourage them to uh, not really depend on the translator lah. Encourage them to uh, try to pick up some words, right? So yeah, feedback is very important because it can help the students to um, actually to improve their language accuracy, right? Maybe fluency, and they will be more confident. Okay, another thing is that offering tailored support services. Okay, support services, like normally this is what I do. Now I have these one students in my class. Okay, in previous semester. All right. So whenever I teach in the class, I know this student will be shaking his head and all that. But all right. So he's basically, I mean, he's from India, and I know whenever I explain something, and he will be shaking his head like that, right? So for me, it's like sometimes I be thinking, oh, maybe he understand, because the moment he shakes his head, okay, it means that he understand. But the moment he's so quiet, he looks so blur, so I know something is wrong, right? Yes, small number of students, it's very easy for us to go and talk to them and all that, but probably these are the gestures of signs that we should notice in our students. I mean, if we notice in our students, we try to talk to them, you know, and probably you want to give your support services like what, tutoring, okay, tutoring or mentoring, or maybe just give any workshop, or maybe any provide them with any online resources. Yeah, okay. So the next one is use inclusive and accessible teaching method. Okay, teaching method that can that basically um, equally, all right, it is something that is equal for everyone. Okay, uh, having to say that, meaning to say that it's not only that we see that we have our local students in our class, uh, and then we have international students in our class. Okay, so I am going to continue teaching whatever it is, but we also uh, have to bear in mind that we also need to cater for international students. Okay, all right. Now we can use different teaching strategies over here. Okay. Uh, Definitely, language can never be taught. It is taught, isn't it? Right? So, if they practice reading, speaking, writing, then only they will excel, isn't it? Now, but if you again you tell me, oh, they are not even, some of our fellow colleagues, they say that, oh, they are not only, we have tried so many different teaching strategies. We have actually spoke to them and all that, and we are so tired. They don't even want to make a move and all that. You see that you have done your part already, right? Okay, so yes, it is again, if they don't start reading, they don't start taking initiative from their side, they are not going to benefit from all this, right? So definitely, we as an educator, we always encourage the student engagement, right, and interaction in the class. Okay, because you want them to, sometimes, for example, probably you may want to give clear instruction or very specific instruction, right? Because sometimes when we speak too fast, they might not be able to catch it. So maybe you want to use some visual aids, right? Okay, some images and all that, or maybe some like simplifying the complex concepts. All right, put it in a small from a bigger chunk, put it in a small something that they will be able to understand lah. All right, okay. So the next is foster academic and social integration. Now, through these active teaching strategies, right, it can definitely create the opportunity for students to connect with other faculty members. Now, we as an educator, what we can do from our end is that we create an opportunity for them not only to connect with their peers, but also with other faculty members. Like, for example, maybe they can get connected to the school administrative, so yeah, probably organize an orientation program, and or maybe to have some cultural events, all right, to organize some cultural event, study group. I do get my students to uh, sharing my experience. Normally in my class, I do get my students, my international students, to join the study group with our local students. So again, it's again subject to whether this local student they want to join this international, they want to take in this international. Some of them they are quite open, they understand the challenges and all that this student, this international student are facing. Some of them they are quite open, but most of our local students they also like, sometimes probably they are trying their best also to get this to friend with them or something. So it is actually, it should be two ways things lah. Okay, the next is to provide guidance and referrals to other campus resources. So you can also tell the students, okay, our students with language barriers, that we have other support uh, 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 resources, like for example, send them for counseling, or maybe send them for career services advisors, or even the academic advising. All right. Okay. Now, so far okay. Anyone would like to share anything? Any of my colleagues who are online would like to share their experiences here dealing with international students? So many of our colleagues actually they share their experiences, and the struggle is real. But yeah, again, as what I say, it might be, maybe that's normal, or maybe it's going to be a temporary challenge, right? So yes. Okay, the next is to enhance self-directed learning skill. Okay, now not only that, yeah, sometimes we can also ask the student to seek out for additional learning opportunity. For example, the English is very bad. Okay, seek out for other learning opportunity. Maybe uh, probably suggest to them to join any online classes. Even now also they have this AI whereby they can, AI whereby they can practice their English, right? So which is very fascinating. So these are the learning resources lah that actually you can recommend to the students. All right. So again, it's subject whether they themselves take the initiative to make use of these additional learning opportunities, or you yourself as an educator, you may want to give extra guidance to them, right? So normally this is what I do as a lecturer, this is what I do, all right? So I give them extra coaching, all right? So if I have a bit of time, so I give them extra coaching, so I will just tell the students, okay, I'm free during so and so time, you can come to me, and then we can discuss the things together and all that. Yeah. All right. Finally, is recognize and celebrate achievements. Now, this is also very important to me. I believe that educators need to celebrate students' achievement and contribution. Not only if the student excel academically, but also if they make a language improvement. So you may just want to reward, or say something, give recognition in the class, that that, or maybe personally, you see, because it will boost their motivation. All right. So sometimes we may want to mention, oh, that you have improved a lot, that's very good, keep going and all that, right? So they will feel very happy. Okay. Now, number three, the W is at the back. How high impact active teaching strategies can address language barrier issues. Okay. Now, again, as what I say, active learning strategies. It's for me again, group discussion, pair work. All these are very it's already like very traditional for me, right? So now I can see some of my fellow colleagues, they are doing very good job by uh, introducing high level active teaching strategies. Okay, the first one is that actually the second one, the case study dissection over here. All right, what they will do is that some colleagues, they did mention to me that they did a sharing with me, and then they say normally we will divide them into groups, and then each of these groups, right, we give them different, we will definitely give them a case scenario, right? And then but then we will give them different, here there is a trick, right, whereby we give them a different information for each of the groups. All right, so whereby they have to work together in each group to get a clearer picture. So different information in different groups. Okay, so that at the end of the day, they will be able to wrap up what is the case scenario. I mean, to conclude on the particular case. All right, so which I find very fascinating. Yeah. Okay, the first one is on the up there is on progressive problem solving. Okay, normally it is best not to straight away what do you call that, introduce to them to the complex problem. You may want to start with a short group solving session. Now this is what normally I do in my class, okay, before I introduce any concept. All right, so I will get them, I will throw this one, anything that I would like to discuss for the day, or during my lecture. What I will do is that I will throw them the topic. All right, this is what I want you all to discuss. For example, if I'm teaching statistics, all right, to degree students. Yeah, so normally I will just get them to think, I will just give them the scenario. Okay, samples. How would you do a random samples? Okay, but then having in mind that how it is going to be in the industry. So imagine that you will need to collect a sample, blah blah blah, and all that, right? So I will give them a situation. So before I go to the complex problem, so I will start introducing a small problem solving question. All right. So this is where what I will do is that I will ask the student that, increasingly lah, that basically each of this group, they must document their thought process. All right, and explain what happened in each of the process. So you see, I keep on prompting them with question. All right, what happened if, and then you see, so they have to really answer me accordingly, having that in mind, that I will ask them what happened to next level and all that. So introduce the complex problem later on, but then let them to work on the simple ones, then you develop the complex one. All right, now real-time analysis. Now for this real-time analysis is basically what I do in class is that during my lecture. Now normally I will pause for a while to analyze what is currently happening. That means the current events or any uh, breaking development in the field, or something if I read online or something, so, for example, that I'm teaching engineering students. So normally in between the class, right, I pause for a while and then I started discussing, the new development in their field. Okay, all right. So, and I will start prompting them with a question again. Uh, what they think of that particular development. What I will normally ask them to predict the outcomes, or maybe ask them to identify the key variables, or maybe ask them any probably to suggest the alternative approaches. Okay, because I want to see them connecting the theory with the practical with whatever that is happening in the industry, with the practical or whatever development. So this is where it opens up their mind, right? Okay, the point number 4 on field expert connection. Now, this is my favorite, okay, one, because I'm sure that you guys also see that our some of our colleagues, they get the industrial partners to come over and then to be a judge of any competition, or maybe their research work, or maybe their assignment, right? So this is very fascinating. Again, it's not lecturer, right? It's not lecturers sitting and judging their presentation skills, or maybe their research work, or maybe their assignment findings. But I think some of our colleagues, actually, they are collaborating with the industry, all right, and they are calling them over to judge for the competition, or any of their assignments. So but this is very, very fascinating, because students normally, they will ask to prepare the questions beforehand. So normally when the teacher tell them, okay, this is you're going to present on this topic, so I see a student, they will prepare the question, and then what they must do is that they must connect the experts responses to the course concept. Okay, all right. So if, let's say, these industrial experts, they give their feedback on certain things and all that, so students will ask to relate it to course concept. All right. Okay, so this is how actually, not only engineering school, so I believe like even our computing school, right? Even our colleagues in SCCA. So all these schools, they are doing very, very good job by getting the industry partner to come over and to really help our students to to discuss, or maybe to give them a bit of insight in whatever is happening in the industry, right? Finally, on interactive peer review. Okay, interactive peer review, right? Okay, so what you can do, interactive peer review, unlike those days, we see that when your friend or your classmates presenting in front, right? And then after that, we will go to the student, we ask, so what do you think? Your friend presented this and this, so and so points and all that. What do you think about this and all that? So they will just answer you there and that, right? But in here, interactive peer review, it happens whereby student actually, they need to document. Okay, they need to document on, or probably find the alternative, or give any suggestion, any actionable suggestion, yeah, to the, just a minute, yeah. Okay, that means when they become the peer review, it's not only they just give the feedback just there and then like that, but they also so-called become like a consultant to their peers. Okay, so they have to be very specific. They have to give very specific and we call it actionable feedback. All right, so that their friends, their classmates can improve. So probably you may want to give a try on this one. Uh, like in maths class, it's very easy, because you see that for maths question, we have different methods to solve the same question. So I did try this once, when the students, I asked them to come upon and then to show their working steps and all right. Definitely maths is very dry subjects, nothing much, right? So, but what I can get them to do is that to present their work. So at the end of the day, I asked the friend to review, and if you would to use a different method, how would you do it, right? So the students not only going to say, oh, that's a right method, that's a wrong method, but they need to review, and then they also need to tell me how to enhance, or how to do it in a better way, or better method and all that, right? So basically, these are some of the things that I do it from here, and moving forward, I hope that I can do more. All right, because that's what I said. Maths is quite dry subject, but there are a lot of fascinating things that we can do. But these are just sharing, just suggestion. I'm not an expert to tell you that this is how you teach English. This is how you teach your subjects and all that. Okay, because I know my fellow colleagues. We learn from each other, right? So I know my fellow colleagues are doing Very, very good job. All right. Keep going. Yes, if you're tired, you're frustrated, I know we are together in this. We motivate each other. But yeah. All right. That's all from me. Thank you so much. Over to you, Alicia.
All right. Thank you very much, Miss Kaudit, for sharing some of your experience as well as some of good tips, yeah, on how we can apply on our teaching strategy. So now it's 10 o'clock. So perhaps let's take a break for like maybe 5 minutes, like maybe just for a stretch, or maybe you want to get yourself a cup of coffee. Yeah. So we will begin the next session on managing assessment and feedback at 10:05. All right, so let's take a break right now for 5 minutes. All right, see you guys later in 5 minutes' time. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I hope that 5 minutes break is enough for you for now. All right, to get yourself a cup of coffee and also stretch, do a little bit stretch, and also like to do some reflection on what we have talked before. So next, I will continue on this session on managing assessments and feedback. Yeah, do feel free to put your thoughts in the chat box, or maybe if you have any questions that you have, for the speakers, yeah, we will try our best to answer your questions. All right. So without further ado, yeah, let's continue on this part. All right. So assessment, all right, is one of the most powerful influences on the students' learning in, not only in, not only in a higher education, but generally in all education. So unfortunately, higher education students, around the world often experience a testing culture. I believe all of us over here, when we were studying, we will also like having this testing culture that, okay, maybe some of you really do learn and understand the principles and concept, all right, of the course or subjects that you have learned. But in my case, I always study because of the exams. So so because of this testing culture that some of the lecturers that teach, all right, only for the exam, and students learn only for the exam. So it's very important that we design, all right, the assessment is for learning purposes. Okay, just a second, yeah. All right, yep. So assessment for learning means that we put the learner's activities at the center, which means that we as a lecturer, the role is much more as a facilitator to help them, all right, the students to understand what is the learning outcome of the course or the lesson. So over here, I'd like to share with you some of the UOW assessment and feedback principles. I'm not going to go through each of these principles where actually you can scan this QR code and it will lead you to our UOW Australia their principles on assessment and feedback. And one of the component that I would like to stress on is on this part where I have both, as you can see on my screen, is that assessment is authentic, inclusive, and equitable. All right. So Debbie both mentioned that students can escape bad teaching, but they cannot escape bad assessment. So one of the reason is that student couldn't like actually design the assessment and they have no control on it. And some of the students, they're actually very depending on the grades that they have received. And sometimes it can cause a psychological impact on them on the grading that they have received. So what are the principles of a good assessment system? All right. So first of all is that this assessment, all right, should not only assess the students on the course or subject level, on the facts or knowledge, but it also includes some of the program level skills, for example, like critical thinking, problem solving, as what's stated in your COPA or table 4. And a good assessment should able, all right, to let the lecturers or student know what which area or which topic they did well or they couldn't do very well, so that the lecturer or the student can work together on the topic or the subject that should work harder, or maybe the lecturer can like explain in a different way, or maybe give like a different assessment for them to practice more. And the third good assessment system is that to reduce the single point of failure assessment for students. In other words, is that your assessment shouldn't be relying on only one type. For example, like everything is on written, because some students they have like different learning styles. Some are like verbally, some is like very good in writing. But if your assessment is only on writing, perhaps those that are good in like presentation, they may not be able to demonstrate their skill. But of course, these subjected to your subject, because some of the subjects really need like writing much more, or maybe like verbally much more, or hands-on much more. So it will be good that you can balance all of this. And lastly, a good assessment system, all right, can reduce the high stress situation, all right. for students. So the word cloud over here, I taken from one of the research that they have done, all right, on what is a student's perception on assessment. I think this is only applicable to the student, but I would say for me myself, when I was a student last time, yeah, when I heard the name assessment, I would feel like stressed, frustrated, anxious, as you can see over here. And sometimes all this stress can actually impact, all right, the students' performance, because they feel stressed and then they feel like they are never good enough. So this will impact their academic performance or the assessment as well. So what commonly prevents assessment from being inclusive? All right. Inclusive over here, I believe just now Ms. Kati has already explained. Yeah. So which means an assessment that is like suitable, all right, regardless of their academic background, their gender, ethnicity, and so on and so on. All right. So first of all, insufficient time for students to do their assignments. So some students, especially for those example like language proficiency issue, they need time, all right? And I saw one of the participants that have put in a comment or an experience whereby students actually like need to refer to their own language book to understand the technical terms that maybe will take another time. And yes, I do agree that students should learn how to manage their time, but yeah, this is also one of the reason yeah, the assessment is not being like inclusive, all right? And second criteria, all right, or reasons that commonly prevent assessment of being inclusive is that too many assignments to the same deadline, okay? Another one will be on overuse of one mode of assessment that I have mentioned just now, all right? And also unproven system of equivalence, that some of the assessment written that, okay, a 3-hour paper is being equivalent to a 3,000 word assignment, which is not like equivalent. An unclear assessment brief or assessment criteria. Sometimes the criteria or the brief or the marking rubric that we have given to the students are not clear, all right? So that is why they feel like they don't understand and it didn't like meet your expectation, yeah? And last but not least would be on the inadequate or superficial feedback, all right, provided to the students. So I will talk on this feedback much more later on. So here are some of the strategies for making assessment more inclusive for all students. As I mentioned, inclusive over here doesn't only limited to students that have like language proficiency issue, but how we can adapt our assessment to like different learning style, yeah? So 3 strategy over here. And of course, as I mentioned earlier on, that if you have some of the practices that you have used in your classroom and has proven beneficial to the students, feel free to share it at the chat box so that all of us can learn together, all right? So the first strategy is on the assessment design and alignment, all right? The choice of summative assessment must be related to the CLO, which is the course learning outcome. Most of the time, we would think of the assessment type without relating to the CL. For example, like the course learning outcome is to explain the key like entrepreneurial skills and so on and so on. But the assessment that we give to students might be a multiple choice question. So it doesn't relate, all right? And second would be increased structured formative assessment activities, all right? Formative assessment is not only like limited to like writing, or maybe like if you ask a question to the students in the class, if they like give a feedback, in a body language way, that also considered as a formative assessment. But over here, I would like to stress on the structured formative assessment. So one of the example would be like Kahoot. I believe most of the lecturers here have heard about Kahoot before, right? And also use the app before, whereby you will put in the questions and all the students will answer the question, as accordingly, and then you will see like how many students fair or maybe can do it, yeah? So with this structured formative assessment, you can see that which LLO that the students achieve and which LLO that, or maybe CLO the students didn't achieve. And from there, you will fix it right here and right then, so that you don't so that the students will not carry, all right, whatever that they don't understand to the next topic, because all the topics are sequential. And I believe like topics are related to each other. If they don't understand the first topic, they won't be able to understand the following topics. So it's very important that we fix it at the very right place before they move on. And the next one would be on ensure assessment align with your learning outcomes and teaching methods, which I will talk on the next slide, as well as how to include diverse assessment without overwhelming and unfamiliar formats. Yeah, all right. So let's move on to that. All right. So ensure assessment align with learning outcomes and teaching methods. So I will just give an example over here. So one of the learning outcome, all right, would be that students will analyze and interpret data to solve real world problems. And some of the teaching methods that you have used may be like hands-on activities, group discussion, and some analysis software. But when it comes to assessment, let's see the misaligned assessment. If let's say you have choose, all right, a traditional closed book multiple choice exam. So this format does not align with your learning outcomes and also teaching methods because it's very time limited, all right, and also like involved only on memorizing the concept because you want to solve the real world problems and interpret the data, right? So would be good that the best assignment would be a combination of individual report and collaborative tasks with practical elements so that it serves, all right, the learning outcome as well as your teaching methods. And with this analyzing a real-world data set as compared to a closed multiple choice question, you can accommodate a diverse strength, all right? In other words, the assessment is inclusive because it would accommodate to students who are good in like writing or maybe like verbally, all right? And it also help the student, all right, to gain some of the skills, for example, like collaboration and as well as some hands-on analysis on the real world problems. And how about include diverse assessment without overwhelming unfamiliar formats? Okay, so I will just give an example like for biology class, all right? The learning outcome would be the students will understand and communicate the process of photosynthesis, right? So I have two assessment methods over here. First is to create a 3D animation of photosynthesis and so that the student will communicate, all right? Or students write a short essay or paragraph explaining the process of photosynthesis in their own words. So which one do you think would be a better assessment in this scenario? Okay, A is to ask the students to create a 3D animation. And B is that students to write a short essay or paragraph, all right, to explain the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so you can scan this QR code and let me know your thoughts, all right? Which method is suitable for this biology class in explaining the photosynthesis process? Create a 3D animation or write a short essay or paragraph. Okay, 3D animation, all right. How about the rest? We have like 30 over participants over here. Okay. Some choose short essay. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. So the main aim is on to avoid an overwhelming assessment for your students, yeah? Okay. So 3D animations still get the lead, all right? I'll just give like another 1 minute for the others who will still be interested to let me know your thoughts on which assessment is suitable. All right. Okay. Thank you for your participation. Okay. So over here, yeah, I won't say that creating 3D animation is a wrong answer, all right, because it actually also shows the innovative approaches of yours, yeah. So let's look at the writing a short essay because our main focus over here is to avoid overwhelming, unfamiliar format. Okay, so why I would say that in my perception that a writing essay would be a better choice as compared to create a 3D animation is because this is a type of assessment that most students would be much more familiar with. I know that there's like Gen AI and so on and so forth, yeah. Okay, but let's put that aside, yeah. And how is it inclusive, all right? It's because it supports the verbal learners, all right, and those that need like extra time, and it directly align, okay, with the learning outcome. All right, let's look at the 3D animation. As I mentioned, it's not wrong, but perhaps on the when you how to say, but on the marking scheme, perhaps the 3D animation may not be something that you want to focus on because not all students familiar with the animation software. No doubt it's a very creative and innovative approach, but some students that may not familiar, and our learning outcome, all right, is for the student to understand the process of photosynthesis. That is the main aim of our learning outcome. So why is like choosing 3D animation may not be inclusive is because it excludes, all right, students without the tech skills, yeah, and it also misalign, or as I mentioned, the focus is not there anymore. All right, okay, so this is some of the example. So next, I will move on to the second strategy, which is to prepare and giving support to the students. All right. So first would be on the assessment criteria. I know that lecturers, yeah, sometimes we have a lot in our mind to teach the students, but it's good practice to let the student to understand what are the must know and what are the good to know items in your subject. And next will be on exemplars or model answer. So you can, I mean, for my case, like I teach personal development skills where students need to do project and so on and so off. So usually I would like give an example for them to have a look and to also to explain to them what is the expectation and what are the criteria for them, all right, to move on for their assessment. But of course, depends on the level of your subject because personal development skill is for diploma students. So they just finish. So most of the students, they just finish like secondary school or maybe just A levels. That's why much more guidance and coaching need to be done. So this have to be tailored, all right, as according to your subject level, all right. And the third one would be on the feedback and formative opportunities. So first is on using a stage coursework, all right, with peer and self-assessment on draft. And I will also talk much more on the feedback in my next few slides. Okay, so this stage coursework, all right, how it's being done is that the assignment, all right, so perhaps, okay, I'll just take my course as an example, yeah. So they need to do a portfolio. So which include like a lot of topics that they need to cover. So the assignments, all right, for stage coursework is that assignments are divided into a smaller manageable steps or stages. So I've also learned this from Miss Shamini. She's from Penang, all right, Department of Languages. So example would be stage 1, all right. You guide the students step by step. First is to submit a topic proposal so that they don't feel like too overwhelming, yeah. And after they did the first stage, then you will guide them also like what to do next. That maybe they need to submit a bibliography, and then stage number 3 is to submit a first draft, and finally they will submit the whole portfolio. All right. Apart from the stage coursework, peer assessment on draft can be done as well together with this. So students actually exchange draft with their peer for constructive feedback. for this, I have also seen some of the lecturers from SCCA, yeah. So what they did is, I think it's an oral presentation class. So group of students that would actually give marks as according to the marking rubric, all right, and then they exchange feedback. Of course, the lecturer would also give her feedback on top of the peers' feedback. So I think this is quite a good strategy as well, because students will also understand from their point of view and also the lecturer's point of view, so that they can do better for their next assessment or projects. And lastly, of course, it's very important for the students themselves to reflect on their own work before submission. So like checklists can be given to the students to know if they actually did whatever that they need to do. And again, all right, each subject and each course, you all have your own assessment criteria. So there's no one size that fits all. And this is just an example that I would like to share with everyone. Next, I would like to talk a little bit on the feedback. All right. So generally, we cannot assume our students understand what we wrote on our feedback. And feedback is very important to help the student to understand, to help them to develop, as well as to facilitate their learning, all right, and improve their skills. So it's important that we give a feedback that is engaging and actionable. So what does engaging means over here? So engaging means that you use a positive and supportive tone to build the confidence in a student. Focus on their strength, all right, before addressing areas for improvement. And lastly, your feedback would actually motivate the student to add on the feedback and not just like read your feedback and then just put it aside, all right? And how about actionable? All right, you will not want your student just read and not do anything on the feedback that you have written for them, right? So do include like specific and clear suggestions for the improvement, as well as you can include some example or steps to guide the students. So over here, I will give like an example, all right, on how engaging and actionable feedback looks like, all right? So the scenario is something like a student submits an essay on climate change. A non-inclusive feedback would be something like, your introduction is unclear, your arguments lack evidence, all right? And try harder next time. Okay, imagine if you are a student, when you receive such feedback, what is your reaction? Okay, so in order to change this, all right, into a much more positive way, as I mentioned just now, we are encouraged to give engaging and actionable feedback. So perhaps you can start with great start, all right? So that's a very positive tone. And on the part that I've highlighted in green, let's strengthen your introduction by clearly stating your main argument. So that actually can motivate students to work on your feedback, all right? And actionable would be, as I mentioned, clear and also give a specific guidance on the steps on what they need to take. All right. So for example, like in paragraph 2, you need to do so on, so off. All right. And then you end it with a positive and encouraging tone. Okay. So this is some of good feedback. So 4 points to remember when you want to give an engaging and actionable feedback would be give a specific suggestion, all right? So which means that you give a clear step, like step 1, what you need to do. And be supportive, all right? You will not want like something negative to like demotivate the students, all right? So it's important that you build the confidence in the students. And next, personalize the feedback. You will not want, I know that sometimes the workload can be very heavy, but yeah, you will not want like the all 10 students receive the same feedback, like your lack of argument and so on and so forth. Yeah. So it's important that we acknowledge their effort and provide example that's relevant to their work, which I believe all the lecturers over here are doing it right now. And last but not least is on the positive tone. Yeah, it's very important that our feedback, all right, sounds positive rather than negative, because we want them to develop and grow. Yeah. So guide students on using the feedback effectively. So apart from like giving engaging and actionable feedback, all right. So here's an example of a non-inclusive approach. Here's your quiz back. Review your mistake. If the student will not know what is the mistake, okay, that I have done. Maybe they feel that I do it correctly. You know, some students that have such confidence, yeah. So with this statement, all right, is lack of guidance on how to use the feedback constructively. So on the inclusive approach, all right, to give a feedback effectively would be like something like start by doing what, all right. So it's something like, as I mentioned just now, all right, engaging in actionable feedback. So students would know, oh, so I did this wrong, so I need to do whatever that I need to do. So in other words, encourage a structured approach, all right, it's like step by step. Step one, what you need to do. Step two, what you need to do. And also provide support, okay, to the students who may need extra help, all right. So for example, like you can review the problems, all right, during your next session, tutorial session, and so on and so forth, okay. And the next one would be on offer timely feedback to help students improve. At times, yeah, we just miss, all right, the time, all right, where it would be like their finals before we would be able to give whatever they need to develop and to learn in the topics of their course or subject, yeah. So it's very important that the feedback is provided, all right, to the students before the final grade or maybe their final exam. So focus on a specific actionable suggestion and also, yeah, provide support whenever they need to, okay. So last but not least, yeah, okay, so how this assessment and feedback life cycle goes on, all right. So first of all, we start with specifying. So we specify what would be assessed, and then we set the criteria, all right, that we want to assess on, and then we provide, okay, the consultation or support that they need, and the students submit their assessment. And it's our lecturers' part, all right, to mark and also produce the feedback, record their grades, and most importantly is that we return their marks as well as give a timely feedback to them where they have time to reflect on what has been right and what has been not doing so well in their subject, so that they can move on to the next topic, all right. So that's all from my side. All right. If you have any questions or maybe you have some thoughts, yeah, just can put it at the chat box, and then later on we can have like a discussion session. All right. So for now, I will pass it to Dr. Tang and also Miss Sumiko. Yeah. So Dr. Tang would and Miss Sumiko, they will share on these tools that you can use, all right, to help with these diverse learners. All right. Over to you, Dr. Tang.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Alicia. Hi, everyone. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, very clear.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so let's start. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so my part today is to share on technology. Before anything, let me share one short video first, okay? All right, can everyone see the video?
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right, I'm going to play now. Good day, everyone. In this video, we will look at dot and cross diagram for covalent compounds under Unit 3 Chemical Bonding. To recap, non-metals form covalent bonds to achieve octets, which means 8 electrons at the outermost shell, except for hydrogen, which need to achieve doublets, which means 2 electrons. The purpose of the dot and cross diagram is to show how the electrons are shared between the elements in a covalent compound. Before we start, make sure you have the periodic table next to you to check the valence electrons for each element. All right, let's get started. Example number 1, CH4. So first, we draw the symbols for the elements. The carbon will be in the center because we only have one carbon, and surrounded by 4 hydrogens. Next, we list out the valence electrons. So carbon has 4, hydrogen has 1, 4 hydrogen means we have 4. So in total, we have 8 valence electrons for CH4. Next, we put in a pair of dot and cross between the atoms. Dot and cross. So over here, I'll choose cross for carbon and dot for hydrogen. So dot cross here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so we have completed. Next, let's cross-check. So first, make sure in total we use 8 valence electrons. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Yes, correct. Okay, I will quickly skip the video. Valence electrons, including charges for ions. Next, place a pair of dot and cross in between 2 atoms. After that, place the electrons around the surrounding atoms until all achieve octets. And lastly, place the remaining electrons around the central atom until octets. In case if the central atom has not achieved octets, you have to form double or triple bond. Right. That's all for today. Now it's your turn to solve the tutorial questions. Until next time, bye. Okay, so based on that video, what do you think? What is the software I used to create that video? You can type your answer in the chat box. Okay, if you want to guess, take a guess. What software being used to create that video? Okay, we have Canva. Anyone else want to guess? Okay. Javier says Zoom. All right, thank you. One more answer, then we'll move on. Loom. Wow. Okay, Screencastify. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so over here, from the answer, we can see Canva, Zoom, Looms. For some of us, it seems like, wow, this one sounds like very troublesome, right? Okay, so later on, when I show you, you will get surprised how easy actually to make that video. Okay, so my second question, for that 5 minutes video, how long do you think it takes me to create that 5 minutes video? What do you think? Just take a guess. Okay, how long it takes, okay, to make that video? Okay, we have 15 minutes and 30 minutes. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's around that. Okay, so if you are first time doing it, maybe it takes you 30 minutes. But once you are very comfortable with recording yourself, then yes, 15 minutes is sufficient, okay, to finish the things, finish editing, and ready to post. Okay, so let me share. Okay, so again, thank you very much, okay, for attending this sharing session. So for my site, I will share on how to create videos. Okay, so earlier on, I've shared with you the sample video, okay, 5 minutes video on how to draw the dot and cross diagrams. Okay, so now this is normal questions people might ask. Okay, why should I create videos? Okay, I already go to class to teach them. Already spend 2 hours, 5 hours on a certain topics. Active learning, very engaging in the class. But why should I create videos on top of that? So this is the first reason. Okay, so the videos is for them to watch during their free time or when they are doing revision before their assessment test or exam like that. So in the past, during my time, okay, when it says do your revision. So what we do, we look back at the notes that we wrote during the class, or we look back at the presentations, the slides, or we even read books, reference books. Okay, but nowadays, how many of our students still read books? Okay, so nowadays people that spend more time watching videos, always on their phones, looking at social medias. So their behavior change in terms of getting information. Okay, they prefer to watch short videos rather than read books. Okay, so for example, like I have experienced last year, I asked students to go to library to just borrow one reference books for the reference during their studies. They said, first question, where is the library? And second, oh, I can bring out the books. So that kind of generations we are facing now. So we have to make sure we try to adapt to their lifestyles and behavior. Okay, so why we create videos? Because we want to make sure we are in line with what the youngest generations trend in terms of absorbing information. Second, some might say it, we already have plenty of videos out there on YouTube. Might as well just use those videos, put a link and they can watch. Yes, that is correct. Okay, but most of the time, we want students to focus on certain things in our lesson, in our course. Those videos produced by other parties, sometimes they are too long or they have too many things that you deem not suitable for them at this point. Okay, so you want to customize the information in the video so that it will help them when it comes to assessment in the future. Okay, so you want to customize the information. That's why you create your own video with the suitable information and suitable length. Next, okay, why the video is important? This is also very important. I believe we all experience this. Okay, when we are tackling one difficult topics or difficult ideas, the students keep coming back to us. Okay, maybe this week, next week, or the day before exam, they'll keep asking how to solve this question. I can't remember after 1 week, even though you have done excellent job explaining in the class with all the activities, but after 12 weeks, the student said, I forgot. All right. So when you have these videos with very detailed explanations, so at least they won't be looking at blank slides with only few words. Okay, they can watch how the things flow. They can listen to how you add in those more specific information, okay, on tackling certain issues or how to understand certain steps. And lastly, this one I already included earlier, PowerPoints. Okay, so most of the times, besides additional reading materials, we always use PowerPoints in class. So in class, during the active teaching, the PowerPoints is more to like supporting visuals, and then we use verbal, and then we sometimes write extra things on the whiteboard or write extra things on the slides. And these things, if the students, they are not jotting down all these informations, they will forget what you have told them like 10 weeks or 12 weeks ago. Okay, so that's why it's important if we have these videos that can capture the essence, okay, of your lessons and reproduce again when they need it. okay, during the examination or assessment. Okay, so these are the 4 reasons. Now, at this point, some of you might be thinking these few statements. Okay, so yeah, the videos should be great, but yeah, I don't know how to start. Or I don't know how to create fancy videos. Okay, I watch a lot of YouTube videos. Okay, so intimidated by those videos. Okay, with all the graphics flying here and there. Okay, I don't know how to do those. Okay, or I don't have time to create the videos. Okay, then another one might be I don't know which tools to use. Okay, so many tools out there, and then yeah, I don't know which one to use. And then some might say, okay, I heard of these tools, these editing softwares, but yeah, too troublesome. I'm not a very expert editor. I don't have time to click here, click there, and adjust all the timings, everything. And lastly, this is very important also. I don't want to pay for the editing tools. Okay, a lot of tools out there, if you want to install, they'll say you have to pay certain fees and things like that. And then the free editing tools, they will have limitation in terms of maybe the file size, the length, and things like that. Okay, so so this will be some of the questions we always think of when we said create a video based on your lesson. Okay, so now let me review to you. How about creating a videos from lecture slides? Okay, so the video I showed to you earlier is basically from the lecture slides, is from PowerPoint. Okay, it's from PowerPoint. So for today, I'm going to share with you how you can convert your lecture slides into videos, okay, which can be very engaging, even though it looks plain. Okay, so before move on, yeah, these some useful links. Okay, I think earlier on someone mentioned about Canva. So yeah, Canva is very useful, even though in the free version. Okay, even though in free version, it's very useful if you want to edit videos. Okay, if we have time later, I can show a little bit of this. And then you have TurboScribe. This one is to convert the video into VTT or SRT if you need the subtitle. And then the last one is Kapwing. This one is also another online editing software, but Kapwing has quite a lot of limitation in terms of the size file or the length of the video. Okay. All right, so if you all are ready now, let's start on how to create videos from our PowerPoint slides. Okay, so let's start now. So first, what you need basically is your PowerPoint slides. Okay, hold on, yeah. Just let me choose a file. Okay, so first, if we look at our lecture slides, okay, we prepare the lesson for the entire unit or chapter. So it is very lengthy and it can end up with maybe 2 or 3 hour worth. Okay, so when we create these videos, we have to think about the mentality of our students. If we create the video one shot from our normal slides, the videos will end up with 2 or 3 hours, and the students might not want to click to watch at all because immediately when the students click and see the video's duration is 3 hours, okay, they will lose interest straight away. Okay, so we want to captured the important parts and create videos from those things. Okay, the effective duration to catch their attention and retain their attention will be around 5 minutes is the best. Okay, 5 minutes is the best. If 5 minutes too short, then maybe 10 minutes or maximum 15 minutes. Okay, so that should be the length of videos you want to produce. Okay, so from what we already have in our lecture slides, you just choose the parts that you want, like in this example, under Unit 3, chemical bonding, there are a lot of subtopics, okay, a lot of subtopics. And even in this dot and cross, there are several subtopics as well. So for this one, I just want to concentrate on this covalent compounds. Okay, so I just recreate, means copy and paste the information from my main slides into this new PowerPoint. Okay, so I have 5 slides over here, and then I'll just you might need to touch up a little bit here and there. For example, I add in these things, and then I rearrange the recap over here, and then everything basically I just copy and paste from my slides. I just touch up a little bit in terms of the wordings here and maybe the things over here. Okay, so in my class, normally for these examples, I will draw on the whiteboard along with them. Okay, so over here, I will draw it here. Okay, so first step, basically you transfer the sections you want to convert into video into a new PowerPoint and make some adjustments. Okay, so that's the first part. Second, when you want to record, let's say there's a very lengthy text you need to read. Okay, but you know, when we're doing the video, sometimes you have this, what do you call that? Camera fright, which I have, okay? Like, not stuck, you don't know what to say. So what you can do is you can type out what you plan to say on the slides, okay? Same like how we create our slides for our class, okay? We write out first, okay, what the text that we want to say, okay, like this one here, I have this, and then here, okay, just write out those things first. Okay, some you can read from the slides, no need to put there, and then something like this. Okay, so you write out what you want to say. Okay, so that is the second step, done. Next, we can start to record. Okay, we can start to record. So if you look at your ribbon over here, okay, you might notice this one here, records, and you have another record over here. Okay, so if you don't see this button here, okay, you can go to ISD and ask them to activate the button for you, or you can do it yourself. Okay, so what you do is you right click, add to quick access toolbar. Sorry, this one, customize the ribbon. Okay, customize the ribbon. You click customize the ribbon, and then make sure, okay, this part here, when you slide down, you see the records. Make sure it is ticked. Okay, if it is unchecked, make sure you check this one and press OK. So once done that steps, you should be able to see this button here. Okay, you click in here. Okay, you can see you have Cameo, from beginning, from current slides, screen recording. Okay, so let's say this is the first time you want to try out. You don't want to be so complicated. So we can always just use from beginning and also from current slide. Okay, so this will be what I want to share with you today. Okay, so let's see how it looks like. So if I click from beginning, okay, from beginning. So basically it looks like this. So all right, hold on. I think I need to off my camera first. Okay, I have to off this camera. Okay, now it works. All right, so back to this one again. So if you click from beginning, automatic, you will get this. Okay, so you can see you have the video camera over here. Later on, you can adjust the position if you want. Okay, and then over here, you can see select the camera modes. Okay, you can show background, blur the background. And then over here, you have the view. So sometimes by default, you will get this setting when you enter this recording. Okay, so what you do is you just go over here under the view and choose the setting that you are comfortable with. Okay, if you need to read those texts, you click teleprompter. Okay, so you get this. So teleprompter here, you can adjust. Let's say your focus, you want to focus more on the slides. Like for me, I need to draw, so I'll focus more on the slide. So I can reduce the size of the teleprompter and reduce the size of the text. Okay, so over here, there are only two sizes. Okay, you can go one is big, one is small. So you can go very small, but too uncomfortable to read. So I'll just choose this one, something comfortable for me. And then this is something comfortable for the slide. Okay, or you can adjust like this. Okay, up to you. Okay, so done with this, then you can start to press record. Let's say you don't want to record yourself talking like this. Okay, you have camera fright, you want to off it, you can press this. Okay, you can press this, okay, or you can leave it on. So let's give it a try. Okay, let's give it a try. So this start button here, okay, hold on, this one is the okay. So for the start button, okay, as you can see, recording is R. And then to stop, you can either press this again or you press the S on your keyboard to stop the recording. Okay, so let's give it a try. Good day, everyone. In this video, we will look at dot and cross diagram for covalent compounds under Unit 3, Chemical Bonding. To recap, non-metals form covalent bonds to achieve octets, which means 8 electrons at the outermost shell, except hydrogen, which needs to achieve doublets. It means 2 electrons. And press stop. Okay, so if you think you need to do slide by slide, you can always stop here and then press edit, go to the next slide and start the next slide. Okay, so let's say over here, I want to do another recording, okay, to continue, but I don't want to do continuously, okay, from beginning until the end. I don't have that confidence, okay? So if you have the confidence, when you click from beginning, you can continue on and on and on until the last slide, no issue, okay? But if you have the fright of recording, what you do is you record slide by slide. So earlier on, I choose the first one. I choose the from beginning button. Okay, you can choose from current slide button as well. Okay, so now let's say I'm done with the first one. Okay, I feel good. Now I want to continue with the next part. So I go to slide number 2. Then from there, I click from current slides. Click this one, okay, from current slide. Let's say over here, I don't want the camera, okay? I don't want people to see my face when I'm struggling with the pen, okay? I'm using the pen, so I don't want people to see me struggling with the pen while drawing. So I can click the turn off camera here. Okay, and then I record. The purpose of the dot and cross diagram is to show how the electrons are shared between the elements in a covalent compound. Okay, I pause. So over here, you can see that when you read from the teleprompter, your focus is always on the camera. Okay, so it looks very engaging to the viewer. Okay, so if your camera is on, okay, so when you read from the teleprompter, you are very engaging. So and yeah, you know for sure there'll be less editing later or no editing at all. Okay, so now I continue again. Let's say now I want to I skip the rest of this and I just scribble something on the slides here. Okay, so let's start with the first. Hold on. Okay, all right. Okay, so as you can see earlier, there's something happened in the recording. So means I have to re-record again this information in slide number 2. Okay, so no worry about that. Okay, one advantage about recording video using PowerPoint is you can edit specific slides on the spot. So earlier on, I have made mistake on slide number 2. So to clear this and re-record again is by going here, clear recording, and you choose all slides or current slide. So I only want to delete slide number 2. So I click the slides, clear recording on current slides. So immediately this one is clean and I can restart again. Okay, so I will say, let's go to the example. Okay, CH4. Okay, then I can use my pen here, okay, to control, okay, how to draw. Okay, I tell them, okay, so let's start by drawing the chemical symbols and then calculate the valence electrons. So I can start drawing all these things on the board, okay, and so on. So once I'm satisfied with this, press the stop and go back to edit. Okay, so over here, you can watch back, okay, how we perform in our recording. Okay, so 2 ways to do that. One is by going here to click this. Okay, so I'll say, let's go to the example. Okay, so when you click this, okay, see basically what you see is basically just the audio, okay, on how clear your speech. Or if you want to view the overall, how you perform, okay, you can always click this slideshow button to see how you perform. Okay, for example, let's say the second slide here. Okay, so I'll say, let's go to the example. Okay, CH4. Okay, then I can use my, okay, so that's how you review how well is your recording for that particular slide. Okay, so if you're not happy, you can always clear the recording and re-record again. So you can do, okay, slide by slide by choosing from current slide. You press number 3, then you press current slide, you record. Once you finish that, you stop and then edit and go back to slide number 4 and so on. Okay, so let's say on slide number 2, I don't want to show my face. Slide number 3, I don't want to show my face. But suddenly slide number 4, I feel like, okay, it's time for me to pop up again. So what you can do is you click the cameo here. So when you click cameo, okay, so you can put it over here. Okay, so now the camera is off. You press camera on, then the camera is on again. Okay, so put it here. And when you use the cameo button, okay, what's advantage over here is you can design, okay, how you want to present, okay, the presenter view, the presenter, how the presenter looks like. Okay, so once you're happy with this, then you go back to the record button here, and from current slides, and you can record this. Okay, so let's say earlier on I want the video, but here nothing appear here. Sometimes it's just a small glitch. Okay, so you just play around with this camera button here. Okay, you uncheck and then you check again, then yes, the things will appear again. All right, so if you don't see that, then you just play around with this camera button here. Okay, so let's say you do for all these 5. Okay, finish, everything done already. You are happy. Okay, now you want to export. Okay, so over here on this top ribbon here, you can see there are 2 ways to save your recording. One is to save as PowerPoint slideshow. It'll play automatically. Another one, you can export it out as the video. Okay, so let me show you how it looks like. So earlier on, before this, I have created a full version of this. Okay, so if you create the slideshow, so what you get will be in this format. Okay, so let me just show, hopefully it can open. Good day, everyone. In this video, we will look at dot and cross diagram for covalent compounds. Okay, then you can press the buttons down here, okay, to shift slides. Let's recap. Steps to draw the dot and cross diagram. First, calculate the total number of valence electrons. Okay, so that's how it looks like. Okay, if you save the recording under the slideshow. Okay, so the disadvantage about this slideshow is that when you it works very well. Okay, it works very well if you just how to say? Okay, it works very well. Okay, if save it under the slideshow, if you just let it play, okay, without touching the forward or backward buttons, okay, it will work very well. But the moment you meddle the buttons, you fast forward, you go backward, then the audio part will run. Okay, so that is one disadvantage of saving it in the slideshow. Okay, and we know people can be rushy, so they just want to see what they want to see. Okay, so if you save it under slideshow, then yeah, some of these problems might occur. Okay, it's very hard to control what I want to watch specifically. Okay, but if you save it under video, then it'll be like what you have seen earlier on during the start. Okay, so it's just a normal video. You can choose which minutes you want to watch and so on. Okay, so that's the advantage if you save it under the export to video. So when you click this button here, basically it's saved under MP4 mode. Okay, it's the standard video file. So you can export this to what do you call that? The editing softwares, okay? Or you can just, use it as a normal video file, okay? You can open with any gadgets you have. Okay, so yep, that will be the simple steps. Okay, you can start if you want to create videos with minimal experience of handling difficult software. Okay, so what I presented to you is very straightforward. Basically, it's more like you are recording your own lecture. Okay? If you are very confident talking in front of students with the slides you have, I believe you should be able to recreate this lecture video without interruption, and it can be as good as you present it in the class. Okay, so before I continue a little bit, any questions? Okay, if no question, then I continue a little bit. So in the first video I show you, right? The first video I show you, it is just a plain video, just me talking with the things moving around. So as what being shared by my colleagues earlier, nowadays we are having students from different backgrounds, different nationalities that join us. So maybe our slang, our intonations, bit different from what they learn, or they're having hard time to catch the words in the video. So it'll be great if we can add in subtitle in the video. Okay, so that would be wonderful. So over here, I will show how you can add in subtitle. Of course, for the more advanced colleagues, I believe you all are very familiar with Filmora or some other editing tools where you can create, what do you call that, the subtitle. Okay, and you also can generate subtitle using AI and things like that. Okay, so over here, let me show you. If let's say your video is like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, then you can easily use Canva free version, okay, to create the subtitle. Okay, so let me share the screen again. All right. Okay, I believe you all are very familiar with Canva. If this is the first time using, so you just have to type in canva.com and then you sign in using your personal email as a free account. Yeah, so let's see. So at the beginning, this is what you'll see. Okay, when you log in, this is what you'll see. So those very familiar with social media, you'll be very familiar with these tools. Okay, so for this, I want to add in the subtitle into my video. So I choose video here. Okay, click the video there. And then over here, you can see another video here. You click in this. And then now you are in. Okay, so after that, you go to the side ribbon here, press upload, and you upload your files. Okay, so earlier on, I already uploaded one file, which is this one. So you click and that's it. Okay, you already have it here.
Everyone, in this video, we will.
Okay, so over here, you might want to readjust the size. Okay, so with this Canva free version, you are free to edit your video as well. Okay, so early on, by using PowerPoint, basically you don't really need to edit your video because you already do it, what do you call that, slide by slide, and you make sure it is perfect before you move on to the next slide. Okay, so normally you don't really need to do heavy editing. But let's say when over here, you realize you need to do editing, then you can easily edit. Okay, let's say I need to shorten the introduction. I can always pull this one here. Okay, or at the end, okay, the ending too long. Okay, I don't like the ending. Okay, yeah, I pull the ending here. Okay, to shorten it. Okay, yeah. Besides that adjustment, okay, we can also cut things in between. Okay, for example, let's say I don't like certain section. I don't like this section here. Okay, I can cut the section. Okay, just click split page. Okay, so I split out. Let's say I don't like here. Okay, I can cut. Then this part here, I can just throw it in the rubbish bin. Okay, so very good, easy to use function, just like those experts editing software. Okay, so normally for us, what we need to do is basically we just need to split and cut out what we don't like, and then or to shorten the video. Okay, so those will be the editing parts. Okay, so once done with that, let's see what else. Okay, so next, now to add in the subtitle. So what you do here is for Canva, it comes with the AI translator. So what you do is you click the text and you look for dynamic text. You press this one, and this is the AI translator. So you click generate caption. Very fast, depends on the length, of course. Then you can see, okay, it's there already. Okay, so you click on the caption here, you click this caption, and you can see on the left-hand side, okay, so where are those captions goes. Okay, so auto-generate, of course, you have to run through it.
Good day, everyone. In this video, we will look at dot and cross diagram for covalent compounds under Unit 3 Chemical Bonding. To recap, non-metals form covalent.
So far, so good. You can see it's quite accurate, okay, when to capture what you mentioned. So you can go through this, and let's say you see some of these words are incorrect, then you can make adjustment. Okay, when you make adjustment over here, it will be you can see it over here. For example, let's say over here I change this to CH. Oops. Sorry. Let's say I change it to CH2. CH2. So you can see immediately, okay, the caption will change. Okay, so I change it back to CH4. All right, so now you say, all right, so good, we already have the caption, but the caption is very ugly and is in the middle of nowhere. So fret not, you can always place, okay, at the positions you like, just drag it. And then you don't like this Arimo, you want what Roboto, just choose anything you like, okay, just choose what you want, and then you don't want it to bold, and the color, the background here, okay, the background here, you don't like that bar, so you can go to effect and choose some of these things here. Okay, I just choose none over here. Okay, my words earlier in white color, so I go here, I choose solid black. There you go. Okay, so I get something like this. Okay, then I try again to play.
Good day, everyone. In this video, we will look at dot and.
Okay, so you're happy with it, and then now you can
save this this video. Okay, so what you do is you just go to share and then downloads. Okay, so MP4, and since it's a free version, it goes to 1080 only. Then you press download. Okay, and wait for things to download. So your final product, okay, your final product will be something like this.
Good day, everyone. In this video, we will look at dot and cross diagram for covalent compounds under Unit 3 Chemical Bonding. To recap, non-metals
Okay, so you can see
bonds
the subtitle is already there based on the patterns that you want. Okay, so there's one additional things you can add on to the video you created earlier. Okay, to add in the subtitle so that the students, they can read while listening to you. And if they need to translate, they feel free to use whatever translation tools they have to do the translation. Okay, basically that's all from me for today, the sharing session. I hope you gain something and you try it out yourself to see how easy to start creating videos based on your lecture notes. With that, thank you very much. And now I pass the stage to Sumiko. Yeah, Sumiko. Okay, Sumiko.
Good morning, everyone. Hi, Dr. Tang. Okay. So, good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to introduce. My name is Sumiko Cheng, and today I will be presenting two methods designed for students and even lecturers in enhancing their skills, especially for learning or even presenting our ideas. So the two tools that I'm going to introduce today will be Napkin AI and Notebook LM. So you may refer to the meeting chat and you're able to identify that I have posted two links. One will be Napkin AI and another one more will be Notebook LM. Okay, so without further ado, I hope that you all can hear me clearly. If any one of you found that you can't hear me clearly, you might just inform me either by voice out or even you can just go through the meeting chat and type, we can't hear you. Yeah. Without further ado, let me go through and share my screens with all of you. For seconds. Yeah. So this is the two methods and two tools that I would like to share with everybody today. So let's go through together. Hold on a second. Might take some time. Okay, so the first one will be Napkin AI and the second one will be Notebook LM. So these two is actually whatever notes that we have. We just need to copy paste and from our lecture notes and we put it inside. Napkin AI will be focused more on visualize the image and Notebook LM will be focused more on generating questions, generating notes or even asking questions. Even we can generate podcasts using our own notes. And that podcast will have two people having conversation between two AI considered avatar. So let's go through. For introduction to AI, I think most of you already knew it. And this is just some definitions. And this definition is actually generated by ChatGPT for PowerPoint. Yeah, ChatGPT for PowerPoint is once we're giving some prompt, and then some very short prompt and they were able to generate and design at least minimum 8 slides for all of us. So it's actually included in PowerPoint. Yeah, it's actually included in our PowerPoint, but we need to go through some process. Then we're only able to activate it. Then after that, for this features for overview for just now the Napkin AI that I did mention just now, is mostly focused on interface and even simplify the user interaction. For example, we prefer looking at the words or looking at the photo or looking at the image or even 3D animations and etc. I believe that some of us, we might prefer text. Some of us might prefer what we so-called image or even 3D animations and different learning methods. So that's why AI tools for this Napkin AI is actually a platform for us to capture and even design our contents into 3D or even wordings and including features, image. Then AI usage for this, we knew that for us, why we are using AI for our individual success or even business is because of time saving. Yeah, the most main reason is because of time saving, and the second reason is visualize the content in the form of image or even diagram, which I have mentioned just now. And for business transformation is we are looking for sweet and sharp and even efficiency gains and even cost reduction. Yeah, but of course, AI tools a lot is actually cost needed. So that's why, but for this Napkin AI, although we know that we need to pay certain amounts of price for certain package or certain plan, but for now, this Napkin AI is actually free. I'm not working for Napkin AI, but for now it's free. So that's why I'm pushing and encouraging most of us, we can actually try to use it before they start to charge, like ChatGPT or even other AI tools. So for now, this one is free for now, but in future, I don't know, they might have enterprise plan, they might have professional plan or even starter plan. Then for this target, mostly we'll focus on individual use, like for example, students or even lecturers or even business. So that's why for us, individual, mostly we'll focus on personal use, like for example, presentation, easy to access, and we can design, we can prepare our notes, everything in a short period of time, anytime, everywhere. Then for business, it's mostly focused on data analysis. But unfortunately, because of businesses data analysis, they need to have certain pricing in future, so that they will provide this kind of data, not pricing, cost in future, so that they will provide some efficiencies or even data analysis of data for us. But for now, so far, we can't access yet. Then after that, market comparison, we have a lot of different AI tools in market, but for now, because this is free and have lack of limitation, is actually lesser compared with others, and it's actually suitable for not only students but also for educator or even presenter from business or even industry. So that's why, without further ado, let's go through this Napkin together. If I have extra time, I might go through some demo with all of you or everybody. But for now, let me go through the steps, so at least you have some draft, some general idea regarding what is Napkin AI. So Napkin AI, you can scan or you can click the link in the meeting chat, or even you can scan this QR code, or even but cannot click. So that's why you can just go to this Napkin AI and you can able to sign in either using your Google or even email. For me, normally I would just sign in using Google easier. So that's why they will ask you, how are you planning to use Napkin for? You can select answer all these questions. So I won't go further into this question. And you can actually select where are you planning to use your Napkin visual. For me, I'm very greedy. I tick all. Yeah, because I want all. I want for presentation. I want to use it for social media. I want to use it for data. I want to use it for customer brainstorming and etc. Then once you go through this all the so-called introduce process or registration process, then you can just click submit. Once you click submit, then they will say, welcome to Napkin. Yeah, welcome to Napkin. And Napkin allow you to summarize your text content with visual. And a lot of us, we might feel curious. Why call Napkin? Why cannot name it as computer? Why cannot name it as stickers? Why cannot name it as visualization? The reason behind this Napkin is, I don't know, do you have this kind of habits, or maybe past century, we will have this kind of habit is, we cannot find any paper. We cannot find any paper anytime we want, but now very seldom we're using paper, right? But before this, we don't have any paper, but we have the napkins that the restaurant they provided. Then we write some information, we write some, maybe do some drawing, doodling on top. So this is why napkin come from. Yeah, so that's why napkin allow us to summarize our text content using visual. So, and you can actually choose these two by passing my text content or even by generating text using AI. So far, I mostly use is I upload the notes that I want. So what I did is I just paste, upload the notes that I want. Then after that, I start to click and start to go through the notes that I have and start to create and generate the text that I want. For example, you just need to click the Launch Auto Spark. Then this content it will help you to generate some visualization graph or even diagram for you. So how to do this? We just go for the new napkin. Of course, if you have created few napkin before, then under library you have a list. Yeah, under library you have a list, and then Canva setting, it will allow you to set your Canva into like dark mode or this what we so called light mode, and also they will provide what we so called page break into different versions like hidden, the page, the line, the color, and even the Canva using different languages. That's why today our concern is about language, is about mastering, especially for those foreigner who can't really master English well. But at least if we can't master English well, but we can look at the image. Like Dr. Alicia, she did mention just now, we can have in body language, we can look at the pictures, we can point them, even can use it flashcard. This all is actually one of the way for us to interact with others. So this is why we can also using this to do some auto detects. We can generate the language into English, into Mandarin, into Malay, into different languages that we have. So, but of course they have the language list. Then after that, the page break will be and page line. Line will be the napkin line. Later I will show you, and even color in dark mode. For me personally, I prefer dark mode so that I feel that it's much more comfortable for my eye. So then after that, and even this napkin got one very good what we so called features is we can able to share with other people. We can either share, can view, can comment, can edit, or even we can share to our friend as a team, or maybe our colleague work as a team, and we can edit and share the content together. But for now, most of the time, I will just allow people with the link can view, because the content that I have is mostly focused on my notes. So I want students to read my notes instead of edit my notes. So that's why I normally would just allow anyone with the link can view comments. Maybe you can allow your head of department or maybe your PL. If you have something you like to share with each other, then you can let them writing some comments on it, or maybe some researcher, like research collaboration, then you can go for these features. And after you complete this all, we can actually download as a PDF file, or you can actually copy the link. Copy the link and share the link to others. Share the link to others. So that's why you can either download PDF, copy link, download, and this is the before and after. So before and after means that before you copy the link is it will show you a link symbol, but after you share the link with others, you're able to find that link copied. That means that you already copied the link. Example, the link will have something like this. This is the link, or you can scan the QR code and you can go through this. If not mistake, the title is 7 Learning Style. Then the PDF file, which I mentioned just now, we can actually download PDF file or export the PDF file into different formats. So from before this, when I start using this last year, they have only 2 formats, but now they improving. Yeah, they have improving from single continuous page A4 standard to now they have US letter 8.5 times 11 inches and even presentation slide. Yeah, presentation format. So this is something that very good. They are actually improving. They are improving. And then after you've done all this, then you just need to click export. So while you go through this, you're able to identify here. Yeah, this is the visual that I visualize diagram or content that I mentioned just now. Of course, this is just only one of the what we so call one of the image, one of the diagram. They have plenty different design. Yeah, they have a lot of different design, different color, and also you can download. Yeah, this is one of the things I feel that very surprised me a lot is because of most of the time, if we want to download, we can only download the full documents. But this diagram, you can download individually. Yeah, we can download individually. So, and also we can go for like Spark search for the information that you want. You can actually import an image as well. You can either use the diagram generated or designed by Napkin AI, or you can upload your own image. But because of the intention why I want to use this is because of the diagram that generated by them. They simplify the documents that I uploaded. Yeah, my notes. They simplify my notes and become visualized and easy for students to understand. So this is why I'm using this. So that's why I'm very seldom copy paste and uploading the image by my own. But depends on, because maybe some of you want to have your own notes together with your own image designed by you. You can have both together. Then after this, if I'm too fast, kindly let me know. But later I will going to show you. This is just a random general information. Then after that, we can choose different kind of font. Yeah, for example, Roboto, Arial, Charms, Korean names, Georgia, and etc. So you can choose any what we so call font types that we want, and also we can choose the color, the style. Like for example, this color, brightness, and then we want to have a rainbow color, want to standardize, we have only blue, only purples, and etc. This all we can actually have it. Then after this, we also can change the style of the what is called the ring and the text, or even the patterns, or even the thickness of the what is called bold, or even text box. So we can actually change. Yeah, we can actually change according to our preference. This is quite useful if we will design our research framework. That is quite useful if we design our research framework, because research framework we need to have, like for example, patterns independent, then after that dependence, then correlation, then after that the variables in between. We need to draw the line, right? And this one we no need to draw it by using insert the line, but we can actually using this just click. Just click, then it will change the patterns. Then after that will be understand. We can also using different what we so called just now, the text box outside the out layer, the outline. So we can change to different what we so called shape that we love. Then after that will be this one, open group. Yeah, we can actually open group means that like our PowerPoint slide, we will going to group all the content, like for example, form and even image or diagram into one pictures. Sometimes we just want to save as a picture, so that's why we need to group them, make sure group all of them together. So this is actually by default is actually grouped. Yeah, it's actually grouped all together. But maybe because of you want to do some changes or do some amendment or improvement of the diagram, then you can actually click the open group and then you modify. And you modify the pictures, the image, or even the fonts inside the what we so call Napkin AI. Then after this is the one that I mentioned just now. You can actually download it individually. So you can actually download it in PNG format or SVG format or even PDF format. But actually SVG format is actually almost the same, just only a little bit smaller. Then and some more PNG, the pixels will be better. Then you can able to file here, clipboard, and then even download. Then for me, most of the time actually download by using PDF or even PNG. I'm very seldom using SVG. Yes, very seldom I'm using SVG. And also, if still remember we have our pictures, then normally if we have our pictures and then we want to remove the background, we have to go to the what we so-called remove background or remove.bg website, upload our photo, and then download, remove the background. Or even we can upload to Canva, and Canva help us to remove the background. But this is actually into one Napkin AI have all. So that's why they will help you to remove the background, and you can just download and you can use it anytime. You can use it anytime without background. But of course, some of you, some of us, or some of the students, or even some of the educator, we found that without background are not so suitable, right? Especially this font is actually gray in color. So I worry that student they can't read. So I still prefer having background. No issues. We can still click background on. Then after that, it will have something like this. Yeah, then we can still download individually. Yeah, so this is the difference between. This is now the one that I shared it with you is actually light mode, and this is actually dark mode. Yeah, so this is the difference in between which I mentioned just now, the one that with background, the one that without background. Sorry, the one that without background and the one that with background on. Yeah, so this is the difference in between. And you found that this is PNG, this is SVG. And PNG, you're able to choose the resolution. Yeah, so this is why I prefer PNG instead of SVG. Then, and after that will be PDF. PDF, the difference is actually you can choose only no more resolution, no more this background, can change background. It's only one color mode, light or dark. Yeah, this only these two different. Then after that, you can just click download. This is the one that I mentioned just now. You can add a comment. So like for example, we have a collaboration for research publication, or we have collaboration between students and lecturers. Then we need to add some comment. We can actually use this and we can add comment. And also we can cancel the comment anytime you want. Yeah, it's like our PDF file, but PDF file in a Napkin AI platform. Yeah, Napkin AI platform, PDF file, we still need to upload and then share the link and then send through email. But this one shot, everything, just only one link. You can just share with your partners, share with your students in just one link. Then coming will be future development for this Napkin AI. I hope that they can have more advanced machine learning capability, like for example, a script, for example, video, for example, maybe podcast, everything in one. But I believe not so soon, because of if they add all in one, they can't earn money. Yeah, they can't earn money. So that's why this is the first part of Napkin AI. So far, for the first part, still okay, still can follow for the first part, because I will separate into two parts, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 will be Napkin AI and part 2 will be mostly focused on Notebook LM. Okay, so if no questions, then I will just share you some simple demo. So hold on for a second. I will just go back to the screen and then hold on. Okay. So I will just, this is the one that I already prepared it before. Okay, so this is the one that I already prepared. I used it long time ago. So from here, you're able to find that this is my notes. So I just copy paste my note and then I copy paste and put it inside. And then you're able to find that this is the flash that I mentioned just now. If you want to have more flash, then you might separate you might separate your notes into few parts. Yeah, because you see, if I just compile all into one, I can only generate one visual. But if I separate into few, hold on for a second, I generate one to show you the difference in between. So they will just filter, scan, and then they will generate the what we so-called visual chat for me. You can actually choose. We no need even key insert the content that we want. We can just choose it from here. Even you can generate more style. You can generate more different style for your notes. Yeah, so easy for student to understand, or easy for student to remember, or even memorize. Yeah, memorize their or even analyze their notes. So you can choose different style. So this is the different style that you can choose. You can show hidden style. This is the style that you can have, and you can change the color. For example, this, I'm choosing this. Once you click, then it will show you only this. And then if I want to have different part, for example, I separate into different part. So part 1, part 2, and then number 3, part 3, part 4, and then 5, and 5, and then 6 and 7. So that's why here I was able to find out that I got 7 flash. Yeah, 7 flash here. So the first one, I want to go for a special learner. So I just click this. Then they will provide a special learner for me. And I'm able to come up with one, what we so-called image or graph. Yeah, so that's why you can choose, for example, this, or maybe this one. Example. So I prefer this. I can just click And then this is the visual learning pathway. So from here, I'm able to see that here they are capturing the keywords, pictures, image, and even new information. So that's why you're able to see that pictures, I know that it's pictures, image, spatial understanding. So if students, they really have difficulty to understand English, at least they can look at the pictures. Yeah, at least they can look at the picture, they are, oh, I know, this is something like image, should be image. Oh, this is something like, what is called Earth, spatial understanding not really right, then we can actually change the image. Yeah, so that's why you can actually upload the image, change the image, and then you can actually generate a new, what is called new icon or even a symbol that you like. But of course, you can also upload. But upload takes some time. Normally, I won't upload. Then after that, you can go for another one more. I will go through two sample. So this is focused auditory. Auditory, most of us, we know that is focused more on music, more on sound. So that's why let's see what is the difference. So you're able to find that here. This is the design that they have. We try to find something visual auditory. Okay. So something that related to music. I think this one better. At least they got music on. So you go have music on, then at least you know that, oh, just now the photo that I have is mostly focused on the shape of the image. Then I know that visual or spatial learner is focused more on image. But auditory is a headset. So it means that focus more on music. Yeah, then, and also this one you can go for mind mapping and etc. So this one you can just play around then until the end. So this is just only one part of it. And the one that just now I did mention, you can actually download. Before download, you need to highlight. Yeah, example, I highlight this all. Then I just need to click this, and then they will going to show me the pictures that I show with you, share with you just now, either PNG, SVG, or PDF file. So this is the difference in between. So after you click download, then they will share and they will download this and go through your download folder. Then you can use it. You can insert anytime in your slide. Then after this, you can also change the font that which I mentioned just now. You can actually change the color, like what I mentioned just now. I change the font color to the color that I prefer. Then also I will change this shape. This is the different shape that I want. And also you can choose this shape become curvy a bit. This one become like got a bit sharp. And then this one is rounded. And also you can change this dot into different format, and also you can insert the what we so called text box beside. Most of the time I won't include because I feel that not so suitable for my subject. But if you found that yours is mostly focused on data and you need it, then you can include. Yeah, so you can include different shape that you want, because I feel that it's already a image, visual content. If we add too much of this, it's a little bit like too complicated. Yeah, for me, I feel that a little bit too complicated. But for like some of the subject, maybe we need like, for example, mathematics or statistics or even research image, maybe we need this. And then this is the one that I mentioned just now, grouping. You are ungrouping, you group them or ungroup them together, then you can actually move them around. Example, I can just move this around, and then I can just add this become bigger, then become bigger, become smaller. Just now because I moved, then they go somewhere and hide behind. Yeah, so that's why you can actually move around. You can play around with this, and then after you complete, then you group them together. Group them together when you move, you won't move only part of it. Then of course, if you want to do some sketching, you can actually draw on top as well. Yeah, you can actually draw on top. They can have different shape. For example, I want to do calculation 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1, example, 1 times 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1. Now, of course, we can use our pen. We can use our pen instead of using this, will be taking some time. Then equal to 3, example. So we can actually use this all in one, and which I mentioned just now, we can actually add image if we want. We can upload and we just drop the image in, and we can edit the text or even label. Yeah, we can edit the text or even label. For example, I want to just type something over here. Yeah. Welcome students, or welcome everyone. I am your students and I am willing to learn new skills. Example. Then you can actually add, and then you can change, and you can move around. And you can actually wait for this, and then you can move this around. Even you can actually highlight and you can drag. So this one, and if you found that very difficult for you to move, because sometimes you look at the line behind, they actually help you to enter and then move around. Yeah, so that's why you can have this all together. Yeah, so that's why you can actually move around, and you can actually move around this. If you found that I don't want to put it into the text box, I want to put it on top, then you can actually add on top. Yeah, so that's why you will have all this all in one. Yeah, all in one. Then after I complete this, I found this is the note that I want, then I can just share with others. Yeah, either share, can view, can comment, can edit and share, or everyone with the link you can access, or even you can actually share. This time I mentioned share this link. They can view, they can comment, they can edit, or they can edit and share. So example, if you allow them to comment, you can just click everybody with this link, they can comment. So if you don't want, you just let them can view. If we're doing like exercise or hands-on exercise with students, then we can allow them to comment. Then after that will be a library. Example, library will be the one that I use it. Even my symposium presentations like the virtual, I actually using this. Yeah, actually I'm using this, and I just copy paste all my notes and put it inside, and then I generate the so-called the image. Then after this will be setting. So setting, which I mentioned just now, you can detect different language that you can download over here. Yeah, so for example, yeah, Mandarin, because a lot of students actually from Mandarin, from China, right? And you can just click this and generate, and then hidden. You can have it in A4 format, or you can have a US letter, or you can have presentation. It's actually up to you. Then A4, then you can actually page line. You can actually have a look behind here. It actually has some page line. Let me change to light mode so that you can see it clearly. Yeah, this is the line that is behind here. Yeah, so that's why if you want, you can actually change your page line. You want to off it, then you will look. This will look like A4. Yeah, for me normally I will just on it before I download. Then I just off. So that's why you can actually choose, then off it. Then color in dark mode or normal is actually up to you. Yeah, so that's why normal and inverted. So you can actually change up to your preference. Then after that, say this one you can either auto or even dark mode. For me, normally I prefer dark mode, and this one page line prefer on. Yeah, so this is how it looks like, and this is the comment that I mentioned just now. You can add a comment. Yeah, this is the one that you can download. Then after that, you can change the color and then change the style and etc. So very simple and easy for all of us, even students, to use it, especially for presentation or especially for them to remember some of the very complicated notes. Okay, so of course this one you can actually click if you have any question you would like to ask, and then it's a support. It's a support, or we call it help support, or even support team. That their online support team. You can always click this if you want. Okay. So far for the napkin AI, so far okay. So if everybody great, and if everybody can follow, then I will just go through the second Notebook LM. Notebook LM, I love to use it especially for self-learning. Why? Because of self-learning. A second, I need to close this. Yeah. So Napkin AI, this is the one that is now the Napkin AI's notes that I prepared. So the prepared. So once you have this Napkin AI, supposedly it look like something like this. If you go through that page, we have something like this. And what you need to do is you just need to add your slide. You just need to add your slide. For example, you just need to click create new. After you create new, then you will have some this consider main page. Yeah, main page. Once you click add create new, then you upload the notes. Example, create new. Then you will have something like this. What you need to do, you just need to upload the source, the documents, especially our slide. Yeah, especially our slide. Students also they can have their own slide. Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing my screen. Oh, okay. Hold on for a second. Yeah, so that's why you will have something like this. So once you create the what we so called create the notebook, or now I just go back again, I create new one. This is just now I just create, I delete it if I'm not using. So if you go to the notebook LM, you are able to find that this is the main page, and what you need to do and what we need to do is create new. So create new, then after that we upload our notes, because students, if they go through our class, maybe they have some certain part they are not really clear, not really understand, but they feel very shy to ask us in front of the public or even after school, because not yet final exam, not yet exam, they not yet study. So when they want to study, they only found that, hey, this part I don't know. So but they feel shy to ask the lecturer, takut kena marah, because they worried that who knows, lecturer say, hey, this is chapter 1, chapter 2, we already covered long time ago. Now you only ask, maybe. Then we can create new. Example, create new. Then after that, what we can do is we upload our notes. Means if as a student, we upload lecturer notes. Then as a lecturers, we prepare the notes. We also say we can upload our notes and we prepare activity accordingly. So what we need to do after we upload the source, example, then we will go back to here. This is the one that I already uploaded just now, the Napkin AI and Notebook LM, the notes that I prepared. So they will summarize it for you. Yeah, they will summarize the, because this I never add any resources, so that's why you can't find any citation. By right, if the resources is having some research citation, they will have some citation over here. Then after that, you will go through the chat. Chat means that like our chat GPT, like our Gemini, like our Copilot, it's the same. But what is differentiate the ChatGPT, Gemini's, and even the AI tools is this is focused only on our notes. Whatever we upload. Yeah, so whatever we upload, then they will just discuss whatever we have it inside our notes. So for example, this, how do Nike AI Notebook enhance research and visualization? I just click, and then they will give me the answer based on the notes. So if for students, they have some difficulty to follow, or for they have some difficulty to what we so call analyze or even understand our lecture notes, they can actually go through this by asking question. So from here, they will tell you, oh, this is under which page. For example, the first one. Just now I still remember I showed you the what we so called our slide. The first slide is about understanding the artificial intelligence. This is actually generated by the Copilot, the ChatGPT PowerPoint. So that's why they will actually highlight and show you the content where you can find the information. So if students, we got 50 slide, example, we got 50 slide, students, they maybe not really understand the slide number 3, number 4, they can actually find it over here. And they will explain and they will tell them, hey, your answer is under slide maybe number 4, number 5, under this part. So easy for them to follow, easy for them to understand. For example, limitation and etc. Later I will go through this notebook LM with you. Because I will read not enough time. So that's why I not go through the notes. I just go through the website. Then after that, you go through this already and you want to know the key features, then you ask the same question again. And even you can save to notes. For example, you see, although the source provide an overview of Napkin AI function, they don't delve into the specific feature of its user interface, of course. Because the slide, if I create and include every single one, my slide will become 100, 200 slides. So that's why I just go through the very general information. That's why very good. Even this, they give you a very specific constructive feedback. Yeah, immediately. But they did highlight that this is a user-friendly interface and it's accessible, and even a lot of maybe user, they feel satisfied while using this. So something like this. And if you found that this is the good comments, then you can just give a good comments to them and the feedback submitted successfully. Yeah, so that they can improve after this. And this is according to our notes, and we can check accordingly. And then you can click source and etc. Through here, and you can go back to source guide. Even they will do a summary for you. Yeah, even this document, example, the summary, this document present Napkin AI and Notebook KLM, two AI powered tools. So if, for example, today I would like to present in front of you, and then I never prepare any script, what I can do is I just go through this and copy paste. Copy paste, and then this will become my introduction. Yeah, this will become my introduction. I can just add, good morning, everyone. Today, my name is Samantha Ching, and today I would like to introduce two AI-powered tools. So AI Tools is, Napkin AI Tools is the user-friendly platform, that transforms text into visual. And the second one then will be, I go through the second one, then look for Notebook LM. And the second is Notebook LM, is a research tool, is the organized upload documents up to blah, 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 blah. Done. So I no need to go to ChatGPT to search and ask the prompt, to type the prompt and ask for the introduction, or even what we so call script. So they already provide a summary for me, and it's not so long, because introduction also we cannot introduce very, very long. So that's why it's more than enough for us to just have a openness for us to start our conversation. Then and some more, you can just click this and they will highlight for you. They will highlight for you, and even you can add more resources. So if you want to add anything related to this, you can always add PDF file, text, markdown, audio. But I tried Word file before, double. Yeah, I tried Word file before, but not really. They can't read. So later I will show you. Then you can paste any text or even link or even Google Drive. Yeah, but because of Google Drive have a lot of private confidential info and even company info. Normally, I won't show students. Then this is how it look like. Then after that, study guide. We can even add our own notes. Yeah, even we can add our own notes. For example, just now I found that this target audience is very useful. Then I can just copy paste and I put it over here. Yeah, this will become my own notes. So means students when they study, or even me as a students or PhD students, I read a lot of journal. Then I need them for some time, not enough time. So I will use AI tools to help me to read the journals. And then after that, I go through, I get the what we so call important main point, then I'll put it over here. Example. Then after that, of course, they also some grammar mistake. Then after that, you can just add over here, and even with the citation, then you can just compile, restructure, and put it into your research study. Yeah, then this is one of the way. Then you can change the font and etc. This one you can just play around, and you go back to studio again. Then you can just go for the, that's why your notes is already here. And your notes is already here. And not yours, this one. My note is already here. Then after that will be study guide. So study guide will be, they will generate a study guide for you regarding this topic. We need to prepare our course outline, right? We need to prepare our assignment, right? We need to prepare our teaching plan, right? This is the place you can actually generate some of the study guide, which students sometimes they found out that the cover page that we provided to them is not comprehensive enough, not detailed enough. This you can actually find it over here. Yeah, and somehow they will provide some sentence for them or even question. For lecturers, if we want to create some activities for our students, class activities, we need to think of the questions by ourselves, right? Then now here they already provide for us. Answer the following question in 2 to 3 sentences. What is the primary function of Napkin AI? So means after this session, the sharing session, I shared it with you. I can copy paste this question and I ask the audience. I ask the public, how does Notebook LM differ from Napkin AI? So then you will need to do the comparison. So not even I need to think of the question, but got good or bad pro and con. Pro will be easier, faster, and everything just a click. Con will be I no longer use my brain to think of the question anymore. So that's why having pro and cons. So, but of course, after they generate the question to us, if we want to enhance our analysis skill, we can actually combine 2 to 3 questions into one. Then different. We are doing our job. Yeah, we are doing our job is not only copy paste from the ChatGPTs or even AI tools, but we come up with another question, our own question. We also still working. We are still doing our job, but combine the job with AI. I don't know. maybe I'm a bit lazy. Then coming will be, then this is all the keywords that we can find. They provide a lot of information, and all this question is actually from our slide. Yeah, all this question is actually from our slide. Then we can go back to studio again. All the information is actually here. So we no need to worry that it's actually disappear. But this kind of question, they will disappear. Sometimes they're not really capturing or even recording all the questions that we ask. So have to be aware if you really ask the question, and then my suggestion is better we save the notes. Yeah, save the notes or even copy paste and put it into our Word file if we want to keep it safely. Then after that, FAQ. Yeah, even we can generate questions, especially midterm, especially final exam, can or cannot, it depends on the questions that we provide. So that's why we can actually generate question over here. Can Notebook answer any question based on the uploaded material? So far provided is highlight the relevant citation, also summarize, and even present the uploaded material. So that's why. And how does Notebook handle sensitive topics? These all. We can actually get a lot of this FAQ question because some students, they maybe have some frequent asked question. So that's why we can actually generate over here. Yeah, generate over here. One is the study guide, the question that we have. Another will be FAQ question. Yeah, based on the question that we have it for these two, for the so-called two AI powered tools. Then briefing document, they will provide a briefing documents regarding this document. Means that they will provide a very brief, what we so-called general information or notes for these topics. Yeah, so when you click it, they will tell you introduction, Napkin AI. They will mention about function, key feature, benefit, target audience, market position, and future development. Yeah, it's like my short script or even my info. Yeah, so that's why, and even Notebook also I am discussing about the function, the key feature, the limitation, the what we so called copy protected PDF, then target audience, and even research material. This all. Yeah, so that's why you were able to read all this and even conclusion. So that's why sometimes like I would like to conclude my speech of today, that I can just go through this. So today I would like to end my conclusion, and this is my both Napkin AI and Notebook demonstration. And thank you everybody, and we can learn this together in the way we learn, we work, and even we conduct research. Example, something like this. Then once you complete, then even you can create timeline. Even you can create timeline. Hold on for a second. Yeah, so timeline, they were going to have something like this. Before January 2025, January 2025, September 2025, then features, developments, and etc. So even if we are teaching IT or computing, we need to know some information regarding this, what we so-called AI features tools, right? We want to have the timeline, right? We can actually go for this. So if we can copy this example, we copy this, the timeline, and we put it into, like, for example, Napkin AI. Napkin AI. We can actually ask the Napkin AI to help us. Napkin AI to help us to generate the timeline. Even they can help us to generate the timeline. Let's see, is it possible for them to help us to generate the timeline in a more systematic way? So blank napkin. So creating. Yeah. So what I need to do, paste. So this is the timeline, and here you go. Let's see, is it possible? Even inventory. So a lot of yeah, because I forgot to change my setting. Hold on for a second. Yeah, inventory. Why is useful? Because of some students, they not really understand and be lazy to translate our document into Mandarin, right? So we can actually using this way. Then after that, we can change if we want to have dual language for our students, then we can actually go through this and then we generate one more time. Yeah, so students, they no need to worry. They not really understand this what we so call this word anymore, because we have both language. We have English, we have English, and also we have Mandarin. Yeah, so we can actually copy paste this and put it into our slide. Yeah. Because yeah, so that's why we can actually copy paste this into our slide. Left hand side maybe is English, right hand side is maybe Tamil, Malay, or any language that we can find it over here, and then student they can do comparison. So if you found that it both together is like very complicated, what we can do is copy paste. We just copy paste this, for example, this and put it over here. Then we have both language in our slide. So this is one of the way we can do. Then, so we don't need to worry that students from different background, they can't understand our notes anymore. Everything is just within, just within 1 hour, we can complete one slide. Not really 1 hour, 45 minutes or 30 minutes. So we can actually compile all of this. And then after that will be, this is the one that the best. If students, they have difficulty to understand English, so we can actually generate podcasts. Yeah, but it depends on how long is your slide. So if your slide is very, very long, so the time duration for them to generating this conversation will be longer. Yeah, so will be longer. But if the slide is actually shorter, then this audio overview generated will be shorter. Yeah, then they will have two AI avatar having a conversation between them. So if they want to learn English, and they can actually listen to this and then learn English. Because as you remember, one of my colleague, her name is Miss Wendy. So what I learned from her is, she's the English teacher. What I learned from her is actually she will always turn on music for her daughter. Yeah, she will always turn on music for her daughter. And I feel that myself also, I will play music for my son before they sleep. I found that they are actually learning indirectly through listening to the music, through listen to the video that we play. So if we can't really learn or improve our English or even Mandarin in short period of time, why not we listen to music? Why not we listen to this podcast? So that's why I feel that it's actually an advantage. So sorry, it's taking some time. Hold on for a second. I will show you sample. The sample is, this is some exam. For example, exam and course. I don't know. I need to turn on stop sharing, and I need to turn on the mic to get the camera. Everything. When I share slide, I need to include the sound. I hope that you can hear it. Hold on for a second.
The deep dive
Can
today.
can you hear it?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Today, we're gonna go like beyond lectures and classrooms into the world of a university academic department.
Kind of like a backstage pass to
Just paperwork. Their decisions directly affect, the student experience.
That's-
involves, having difficult conversations and setting.
Yeah, something like this. And even we can actually download. Yeah, actually we can actually download and share an audio overview. For example, we just click and then we can go through public access, then let everybody copy and share the link, and even preview the link. If we don't want to share with others, what we can do is we just download. Yeah, because of this one is 44.30 minutes. So that's why when you download, it might take some time. Yeah, because of the info is very long. So as well, when you download, it might take some time. Let us have a look. The one that I shared just now, is it done? Yeah, still generating. So hold on for a second. Let me see. Hospitality. This is one of my notes. This is one of my notes, and I actually add all my week 10, 11, 12 all into one, and then it generate. And then this one, why cannot click and load because of too many slides into one. So my suggestion is create one name for only one topic. If you combine all topic together, this will become like this. Very complicated. And this is for one of the assignment that I do, copy table books for attending training. This also don't have. Then marketing positioning. Also this one not yet. Yeah, this is about myself regarding the marketing. And wait. Let me have a look. Still generating. So that's why once you complete this and when you download, you are able to have So you were able to have some document like this. Okay, you have something like this. This is the what we so called just now, the videos that I downloaded. Yeah, then you're able to follow this. Actually, I still have another one more tools would like to share with everybody, but I not sure is it enough time. Defeat. Yeah, something like this. You'll prepare in this format. I just want to show you the format. And defeat, if I have time, I will share it with you. Why I say defeat is good is because of sharing the notes and content, everything in different format or different what is so called different version, and it's already ready. It's already ready, and you can just download in PowerPoint slide and also in PDF format and also in Tamil, even Tamil. Because done. Finally done. Hold on. Let me share again. Stop sharing and I include the sound. Okay, include the sound and then I will share again. Yeah,
Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. This time, we're going exploring this whole AI thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's been
It's everywhere.
yeah, it's everywhere. And we're going to get into two specific tools that that you, the listener, have been asking about.
Absolutely.
Napkin AI and Notebook LM. Napkin AI is all about visuals and data. Notebook LM is about search, and some of the stuff we found on Notebook LM is
pretty wild.
yeah, it's pretty wild. So are you ready to dive in?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay, let's do it. So first off, these tool problems, right?
Yeah, they do. Napkin AI, I think, really taps into how we're wired as humans.
for me, I will always feel that 1.2 is the best. Yeah, because if normal speed 0.5 or 0.8 or 1.0, I feel that very slow. So that's why I myself, my personal, I prefer 1.2. Yeah, instead of the rest. 1.5, 1.8, 2.0 too fast. So that's why normally I will just go through 1.2. Yeah, so you can actually download and then you can just go through playbacks and etc. So it's like a very full package, include everything. Yeah, include everything. So the first we need to prepare using Napkin AI, then we upload, then after that we can chat with the content, then after that we can create podcast and we can actually share this podcast with our students. Yeah, we can after we download, we just upload to Microsoft Team or download and upload to the Camu. Yeah, we can actually upload, but I'm not sure can upload to Camu or not because I haven't tried, but I upload to Microsoft Team. So far, no issue. Then yeah, that's all for this notebook LM and also what is so called Napkin AI. But I think not enough time. So that's why another one more I would like to share is this is I think this one I will share with you all the notes. I will go through a little bit quick. Uploading the various source is up to 500,000 words for 200 MB per source. And then output is like a static guide, audio overview, and etc. Then this is welcome to notebook and etc. This is the source that I have. Then this is the create a notebook, the source guide, which I mentioned just now. And then this is what you can use with a notebook, what we so-called notebook LM. Then after that, this is audio overview. So far, they have two AI hosts or AI speakers. They will summarize the key contents of the work. Then after that, they have more than 30 plus languages. And then you can go through the account setting. And this, so far for now, is only PDF file. Is supported, while like for example image you may need to re-upload again and then copy paste, and then this is the one that I showed just now. That's why this one I did mention word file template. Yeah, so one or more file will not uploaded, only the following file are supported. So that's why word file so far still cannot. So I already tried an error. Then after that, this is the two mode of summarizing the content. And this one, the one that I mentioned, you can use it as your presentation or introductions script. Then there are few safety flag unclear phrasing, and this all information you can just find out because sometimes some of the very sensitive documents or sensitive contents, they won't generate the summary for you. The limitation is that of chat history persistent. That's why just now I did mention, if you really want to keep the document with you and then make sure the document is so important for you, although they will have a notebook, what we so call record, but still keep yourself a copy. Then there's no capability to save the chart between sessions. So it's not the chart after you close, then sudah habis. Yeah. Then after that, research material. So it's create a notebook for the project. You can have with your friend, with your researcher, with the collaborators, and even also a collection of present template. And this is the one I mentioned just now, the audio. Yeah, the audio, and then you can export your document. Of course, this is another tool. Readwise is for reading the what we so call Readwise is for us to reading the contents. So this is also another features in Notebook LM. Then research material also always see the original citation, which just now I mentioned. If you upload the material is journal, then you have citation. Then after that, exam, and then course, you can save the notes. Remember, always remember, save the notes. Then after that, this is a summary. If you want, you can actually always screenshot or even keep the information, and you're able to find that this is the part where you can find your info. Where you can find your info. If not mistake, this is lecture notes. Then after that, this is full view. Full view and audio generating. This is in generating mode. This is already complete. Yeah, even you can change your playback speed, download and delete. So this is a before and after. Then after that, you can actually share the link. But so far, if you share this link, sometimes it's not workable. Yeah, sometimes this copy paste the link is not really workable. Sometimes work, sometimes not really working. So don't worry, they are still in process of upgrading. So that's why you found this issue. So if you found that the link is not working, you try again. Yeah, after you try a few times, then so far should be no issue. Normally 2 times or 3 times by right, the link should be accessible. By left, then tak tahu. By right, suppose can lah. Then after that,
Welcome to the deep.
then after that, if you need any info, then you can just go for this Notebook LM user support at google.com. So far, I haven't tried it yet because it's very ClickUp, so it's easy for us to access. Yeah. This is the one that I mentioned just now, the ChatGPT PowerPoint and Autopilot. You need to generate. Then and some of this dictate is very useful. If you want to do meeting minutes, you can actually using this dictate to help you if you have this function. So dictate, for example, you just need to go through. You can just create a new slide. But normally I use it in Word file. PowerPoint. I have to check is it possible. Yeah, hello. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, can. So that's why this is tic-tac. So it means that if we have any meeting, so we can actually use this. We just click and then it will help us to record down like a recorder, help us to record all of our information. And what we can do is we just need to check our grammar after this and even restructure the sentences. And if you really want to restructure the sentences, you can actually copy paste and put it into DeepL Write. And DeepL Write will help you to paraphrase your word into a much more presentable or comprehensive and better version of your writing or maybe better writing. So this is what you can do. Yeah. Hello, thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah, okay. So far, not bad. Yeah, so done. So this is tic-tac, one of the functions that we can introduce to our students, especially if they have difficulty to follow our lecture. I think Defeat I will share next time. So over to Dr. Alicia. Defeat I will show you.
Okay.
This is the version.
Oh.
They were in something like this in Tamil. So this one maybe I will share in future because I'm worried that not enough time. Yeah. So the content and even they generate for us in Tamil and in PDF file and even PowerPoint slide.
Wow.
Okay, over to Dr. Alicia. Thank you, everybody, and I'm very proud and thank you for this opportunity. I'm able to share my humble insight so that I can learn with everybody.
Thank you very much, Miss Sumiko. I have all the oohs, ahs, and wows while you are sharing these tools with us, as well as Dr. Tang. Thank you very much for demonstrating on how we can record our slides or lectures for the use for the students. All right, just let me share my screen. Yep, just wrap up for now. Thank you for being with us for the 3.5 hours. Yep. So just some key takeaways for today. So language barriers does not equal to intelligence. So it's very important that we as an educator to support and encourage our students to succeed in their academic. And inclusive teaching works. So I hope that the active teaching strategies that Ms. Kaudip has shared with us, right, that we can apply in our lectures. Small changes make impact. And this is also from what Ms. Kaudip has mentioned just now, that it's very important that we simplify the instructions and break down those complex ideas for the understanding of the students. And it's also important for us to create a safe space for the students so that they don't feel that they are being judged, and also celebrate the effort that they have achieved. And of course, the tools and resources that have shared by Dr. Tang and also Ms. Sumiko, yeah, on PowerPoint, Canva, Napkin AI, Notebook LM, and yeah, the defeat. Yeah, I think I will explore a little bit on all of this. Yeah, it's very, very helpful. And last but not least, it's important also for us to assess with empathy, with especially with the students that probably they have like different backgrounds or maybe some challenges that we may not know. So it's important that we see it. I mean, for the feedback, it's very important that we always in an encourage mode and with a positive tone, so that they won't like feel demotivated and will just move on. We as an educator, we always would love to see our students to develop and grow, right? So before like to end this session for today, it's just a little quote from me. So by fostering, understanding, and adapting our teaching practices, yeah, I hope that these 3.5 hours is beneficial for you, that we will be able to empower all our students to succeed regardless of their language proficiency. All right, so that's all for today. Thank you very much for your time. All right, and yeah, if you have any practices that you would like to share with us, yeah, you can just put it at the chat box, or if you need like maybe if you have any questions for Miss Sumiko, Dr. Tang, Miss Kaudip, or even me, yeah, feel free to like email us. All right. So yep, that's all for today. Thank you so much, everyone. So for those that are like yeah, going for your holidays or for the Chinese New Year, yeah, have a safe drive back. All right, and happy holidays, everyone. So yeah, let's work together for the next new semester. All right, thank you.